Well, hello and welcome to the Confused Breakfast. Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
Yes, sir.
It's hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your couch. But there was something truly special about jumping on your bicycle, heading to Blockbuster, picking out a movie by hand, taking it home to watch. On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. My name is Mike Schulte. Joining me as always, two dudes who play with their toy boats while they take their nightly baths. Sean Pryor, AJ Vance. How the heck are you?
It is like literally my dream when I was a kid. If I could have that huge pool or bath, is that a bath he's using? I don't know.
We'll get it.
Yeah, I would love to do something like that.
Yeah, that's what I want. But then I don't think I would ever leave the bath. I already take too long of showers. You know, like I don't think if I had a bath like that, then I would just live there.
Yes,
that's fine.
absolutely.
And we are joined by a very special guest today, an unbelievably funny comedian and podcaster. You may have seen his stand-up specials or listened to his widely popular podcast, The Dollop, as well as We're Here to Help. Gareth Reynolds, how the heck are you?
Hey, good to be here. And it is a pool. They
Okay,
just
are we
put,
sure?
like-
All right.
I think so, yeah, because they just put the, like, it was
The
one of the
fake
things
faucets?
rewatching it where I was like, faux faucets. It's not a bath. Yeah.
They're just fake.
Yeah.
I could
yeah.
just believe him having that huge of a bath.
Yes,
and he just
it
kinda
really
stays
makes
there.
sense. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well,
thank
boys,
you for having me.
Glad you're here, man. On today's episode, we're going to discuss a movie with perhaps the most frightening scene of the 80s for kids. One of two films released in August of 1985, which a childish character from a TV series goes on a road trip and discovers how tough the real world can be. Anyone know the other one?
The Wizard?
That's my guess, yeah.
Follow That Bird with Big Bird. Anybody remember that? Or am I the only one that loved that movie?
Also a sad one.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The movie...
You got avian flu at the end. Of it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Spoilers, come on.
Sorry. Yeah.
The movie that first joined the most iconic director-composer duo of all time, Tim Burton's directorial feature debut. We're, of course, talking about 1985's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with The Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
And if you're new to the podcast, we're going to be reviewing this movie scene by scene with a modern eye. But in order to do that properly, we must discuss it with pure nostalgia. So, Gareth, we're going to start with you. We need to know the first time you saw this movie, what you thought about it, and what your rating was 0 to 10. First time, we're talking pure nostalgia on this movie.
First time was definitely a 10. I loved it. I don't. Wait, what were the other questions?
When's the first time you saw it? Like, what's your first memory of
Well, it was
seeing
like
this?
in the theater.
Yeah, you went to the theater?
Yeah, my brother and I. So my brother used to like buy sugared cereal that my dad wouldn't know about and hide it, and then we'd get up early and watch Pee-wee's Playhouse together and like eat sugared cereals without my father's knowledge. So I was a huge Pee-wee fan, and then we went and saw the movie, and it was fucking amazing, and yeah, loved it.
Hell yeah.
Truly thought. To what you're saying though, because it is Tim Burton, there were elements of being like creeped out by it.
Yeah.
Like a lot
But
of
it didn't
things.
bug you at first, is what you're saying. You're saying at first you were just like, let's go.
No, I definitely was like weirded out. Like I'm sure we'll get into some. There was definitely scenes where I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why is that clown evil now?" You know what I mean? I was like,
All
"What
of
the
a
fuck?"
sudden, geez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it has that real eerie Burton element, but again, like you said, it was his first movie,
And we didn't know,
and the
we didn't
Danny
know what it
Elfman
was.
element as well is like,
Yeah, definitely.
you didn't realize how hand in hand that all went, and it really did. Like,
Yeah.
it hit me hard. I loved this movie. Though.
Yeah.
Well, that's a flat out 10 for Gareth. AJ, what about you nostalgically?
All right, I'm going to say everything about Pee Wee Herman from my childhood, because Pee Wee Herman was a little bit early and bit before me, right? But leading up into it, everything I would see of Pee Wee Herman reminded me of like all the bad parts of like Mr. Rogers too. It was like creeping me the hell out. His stuff was so creepy in his house. I was like, I don't know how he can sleep in that house. And so it was always super creepy. And I really steered away. So I will tell you, I've never seen this movie up until our current
Wait,
reviews.
what?
Whoa.
You chose to not watch this movie.
I can't say that I've seen this entire movie
That's
because
special,
of
man.
a valid, conscious choice to avoid it.
Like
Alright.
specifically the clown was
The clowns,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah.
and
True.
Big Bertha.
Yep.
You know,
Large Marge.
Marge.
It is so racist.
Wait, you have seen it though, as of today?
I promise I fucking seen this movie.
All right, big NA for AJ. Sean, what about you? Don't let me down here, man.
This movie was a fever dream for me when I was young. Like whenever I watched it, my dad would put it on. I think like he showed me movies like Creep Show. And then movies like this where like he thought I could handle it, and like this was more of I could handle it a little bit, but then like obviously when Large Marge came up, I'm just like I cannot handle it. There's no way.
It's tough.
But I did enjoy like the kooky aspect of obviously Paul Rubens doing his thing. I'd probably give it a 5 back then.
Paul Rubens doing his thing to some people means masturbating during an adult film. So we just want to be clear. Him being Pee-wee is his thing.
5 out of 10.
Yeah,
for,
right.
for
This
Paul
is
Rubens
Pee Wee
doing his
Herman
thing.
in this movie. It's in the casting and
Yes.
everything.
The
so.
weird thing is, when I watched it this time, I went and saw it on the big screen, and I jerked off throughout it.
Oh, nice.
Just as an
Nice.
homage to the man.
You just kind of got
R.I.P.
it sometimes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, threw it up for a real one.
Which kind of theater were they showing this at? Was it a normal theater or
It's
an-
Marcus Theaters.
Cineplex.
I wonder if this would make it into some of the adult theaters nowadays.
That'd be great.
Oh my God.
Masturbating?
Oh, okay. Well,
It's fine. It's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
play to your audience. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
For me, I think Gareth. I think we're of similar age. We're much older than these guys, so this was a very. Cheers. This was a big
Are they
deal.
toasting because they're young?
Whenever I say I'm older than you guys, that's usually when
I'm a little older
They're
than
sort
you
of
guys.
celebrating our decrepitness?
They're like, man, ever since you had a little baby girl, those grays are coming.
I don't love what just
This is
happened.
awesome.
No,
Crazy.
No, trust me.
No, it's good. It's a good
Are
thing.
they making fun of us more?
Yes, but you're here. Thank God.
Okay, all right. Anyway,
No,
Celebrating
they
you.
as a child, I loved the idea of this movie, but I was a very scared little kid. I was scared of a lot of things, and I remember like wanting to love this movie so much, and I loved most of it. But there would be parts where I would find an excuse to walk into the. Oh, I gotta get more popcorn. And you just purposely walk away just because you're like, I'm not into the scary factor of this. So I'm still going to give it a 7, though. I'm going to call it nice and even there.
Yeah.
That gives us, as a group, a 7.33 as a nostalgic rating, which of all the movies we've done, that ties nostalgically with Batman.
Oh, wow.
How do you feel
we
about that?
go.
Sort of the same vibe.
1989's Batman.
Sort of the
that
same
was a little
vibe.
before our time, I guess.
Yeah, sure. No,
We're a little
totally,
older
totally.
than you guys. So.
My elbow popped. It feels like oil through the arm.
We got ice. You know.
I'm fine.
We'll take a break. We'll
Under
get
some of
ice
these
for-
amps.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to strip away that nostalgic rating. We're going to learn what our modern day score is. But first, we got to learn all the important details of the movie. Sean, what do you got about this
All
movie?
right. Produced by Richard Abramson, Robert Shapiro, written by Michael Verhall, Paul Rubens, and Phil Hartman. Cinematography by Victor J. Kemper. He also did Dog Day Afternoon, Slapshot, Beethoven. He did a movie called Oh God, Tommy Boy, and these are movies we covered. Tommy Boy, Jingle All the Way, and Clue.
Wow.
Edited by Billy Weber, music by the maestro Danny Elfman.
I thought it was Billy Weber. That's interesting.
Yeah?
No.
Okay. Oh yeah, Billy Weber.
Oh, is that a Weber cut?
Oh, I love his stuff.
Weber wipe.
Cut.
The Weber.
The Weber
Ooh,
wipe.
Directed by Tim
technique
Burton.
is indistinguishable.
See that S cut he just did?
Wow.
Cast.
Weber, you devil.
What a web we weave.
Paul Rubens, E.G. Daly, Mark Holton, Diane Salinger, Judd Omen, Jan Hooks, Monty Landis, Professor Tanaka, and Alice Nunn. Paul Rubens was an up-and-coming stand-up comedian and found himself not fitting in well with the normal punchline and joke format of most comedians. Rather, he wanted to be himself, more of a shining and more comfortable with doing character work, he felt. Rubens came up with the character Pee Wee Herman from a harmonica he had called Pee Wee and a childhood friend named Herman. So that was his name. And started performing his act live along with attending Groundlings. Rubens' one-man show started gaining popularity, and eventually HBO filmed an entire special on it. Yeah, apparently he met Phil Hartman at the Groundlings,
Yeah.
and like did
Who else was in Groundlings? Phil Hartman.
I bet Jan Hooks was probably.
She had to have
yeah.
been.
Wasn't Will Ferrell
tons.
in
Oh yeah, Will
Groundlings
Ferrell. Yeah, I mean,
eventually?
as far as SNL goes, it is like a true pipeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Groundlings and Second
Chris
City
Kattan,
just kind of.
totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Groundlings has some real bangers.
Is Second City, is that Chicago?
That's Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And Groundlings is like the New York, right?
L.A.
LA, sorry,
yeah.
LA. Yes.
LA.
After the success of the special, Warner Brothers Studios reached out to Rubens about potentially making a film about his character Pee Wee Herman. Warner,
So the film did come first.
yeah,
the
film
show.
film
Oh,
came
weird.
first,
I
and
thought
then
it was
it
the
inspired the
opposite.
show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I thought it was based off the show too when I started
That's
revisiting
even
it.
more remarkable.
I know it's
That somebody in the studio goes, Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Well, if you
this is
watch
great.
that special, the one you're talking about,
Yeah.
it's really weird. It's like it's like a stage show. So it's like just one stage show. Phil Hartman's in it. A bunch of people are in it, but you would never be like, oh, that should be.
We should make a movie out
You
of
know what I mean? Like I don't even know how
Totally.
you get there.
Wasn't
Yeah.
he supposed to be? I mean, you might have this in your notes. Wasn't he supposed to be on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah,
he was like close to being a cast member.
Yeah, he was about to be a cast member and like kind of didn't
I
want
think
to do
Gilbert Gottfried took it from him.
Wow.
Really?
That,
Oh,
if you think about it, they kind of serve the same
Think
purpose.
of all those Gilbert
Sure.
Gottfried characters we'd be without. Like
What if Paul-
aggravated man, and yeah.
Aggravated man.
What if Paul Rubens did Iago from Aladdin?
Oh, wow.
okay.
Much different.
What if we got that
Much
flip of the
different.
universe? That'd be a
Dang.
little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little more, but Warner Brothers, huge studio. Like they really just like, yeah, go do your thing. Like they'd never do that nowadays.
Yeah.
Warner gave Rubens a spot to stay on the lot of Warner Brothers so he could write the script. Initially, Rubens wrote a script that he was not very proud of, but when he noticed that everyone on the lot was riding bikes from place to place and eventually getting one of his own, the writer had his spark for an idea. Basically, The Bicycle Thieves, starring Pee Wee Herman. Rubens had never written a script before, so after referencing a literal handbook on how to write a script, and with the help from fellow Groundlings alum Phil Hartman and Michael Varhol, they structured their script to a T for the 90-minute format. So he's like, yeah, on page 30, I lose my bike, and page 60, I find my bike. Like, you just followed the
Just
kind of structure of a
30-minute
script.
increments, 90 pages,
Yeah.
90 minutes, like that's it.
This happens there and that happens there. We're out. You know,
Yeah.
Paul Rubens had seen a short film called Frankenweenie, and he thought that the director would be perfect for his film. That director, of course, being Tim Burton. Laura Dern, Phoebe Cates, Leah Thompson, and Jennifer Jason Leigh were all considered for the role of Dottie. For the role of Francis, Corey Feldman was approached, but had to decline because he had prior obligations to the Goonies.
Cocaine. Oh, sorry.
Hey, hold on.
I meant an
the Goonies
overall
at the
with
time.
cocaine.
I'm sorry, I've got an 8 ball
can't.
on the calendar that
I'm
day.
sorry.
Cocaine is in my destiny.
just signed with cocaine for the next 10 years.
I
We
got
only need you for 2 minutes, Corey. If you could just-
I don't have that time.
the Angels need me too.
Yeah.
Principal photography began on January 8th, 1985, and was shot mostly in California and San Antonio, Texas, like all over California, pretty much. There were about 10 to 20 bikes they were using in the film that served as the film's central MacGuffin. Rubens was a huge fan of Oingo Boingo and wanted them to do the music for the film. Burton was also a gigantic fan and offered Danny Elfman the
Wow.
job.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the world had that not happened?
Crazy.
Because Danny
That's
Elfman,
crazy.
to think of Danny Elfman as being like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Well, like it's crazy because I kind of fell in love with the story of them making this movie because it's just like Paul Rubens loved Danny Elfman's music and Tim Burton just so happened to as well. And then like he hasn't made a movie without him since, I don't think.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, and all the movies that he has made are not the movie
Yeah,
that we want it to
completely.
be without. Like, they don't work together.
No.
Right.
They
I
have
don't
to
think
be
there is
together.
someone
Yeah.
whose music influences like the experience of watching a movie like Danny Elfman.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, and it's funny when you listen to Oingo Boingo too, because there are so many elements of it.
Yep.
It's the same with Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo, where you're
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah.
the music is so crazy, but you're like, yeah, you hear the seeds of like great scoring in that past. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
He also said, Elfman said that hearing his composition played by a string orchestra was one of the greatest
Oh, it
moments of his
has to
life.
be.
Like, to imagine here, I used to think it was the Goonies. That if you could pick one orchestra to go see in person to play the music, I used to think it was the Goonies. I think it might be this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you
Really?
imagine hearing a live
Oh, it's
orchestra
crazy.
play this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just has to be such a thing. Him going from just playing in that band, no real formal experience, like in orchestrations,
Right.
anything like that, and then he just he asked his guitarist guy, he's like, "Will you help me like orchestrate these things.
Help.
And then they get into that studio and
Yep.
hear this orchestra
Yeah.
of Danny Elfman's creation, and just like
Wild.
a star was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure was released on August 9th, 1985, and on a budget of $7 million, the film was a huge hit and made $40.9 million at the box office. It would garner 2 sequels and then a television show, and would cement the careers of Paul Rubens, Tim Burton, and Danny Elfman.
It's funny you said Frankenweenie too, because the second movie he made, which is Big Top Pee-wee,
Yeah.
is kind of about these weird sausages, like a sausage growing tree, essentially.
Really?
Which I would guess was related to that idea.
It
to
had
some
to
Huh.
be, right?
Yeah.
Had to be.
Yeah, that's
Sick.
crazy.
Well, thanks, Sean. Up next, we go to AJ. He does the research for us, gives us the ratings and reviews of fans and critics alike. What do you got on this one, man?
If there's anything that's red and shiny that I could watch Pee Wee Herman ride, other than his bike, it would be
The
tomato meter.
You like that?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of fun?
Like that.
We
I said no.
zoomed
I
in
don't,
on
no,
I don't
I-
care for
If
that.
it's
I really
like,
don't.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't
sorry,
want
we're
that to
Quite
happen
honestly,
again.
I'm
Turn on
a
the
little.
light.
Oh, that's
Tomato
better.
meter.
Shit.
Gee, we have an interactive studio right
do.
now. It's kind of fun. No, this is 88% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of all the movies we've done, that is tied in the 50th spot with Field of Dreams and The Matrix, per the critics. Per the critics.
You know what?
Bangers.
It makes a lot of sense.
Showing the writer of Field of Dreams this, man, like people like this as much as they like your movie. Movie's about my dad dies. Like, it's about a man's bike.
Well, this
Look
is,
at him.
He
they're
never
at the
knew it.
Alive.
You lost your dad, he lost his bike.
Okay, yeah.
Just hanging out the Alive After 5 for movie directors and shit. It's like, yeah, my movie did just as good.
Yeah.
It's like,
88, huh?
oh, well, watch out. We got some 89s coming
Oh
through.
boy, here we go. Make room.
Make room. 79% from the audiences. And then a 7.0 straight up on IMDb.
So, Gareth, we have a firm belief that if we've done 170 movies, thank you. Some
I
people
felt
would
like you were
clap
asking for that.
and the most, there are 13 movies that are rated 7.0 on IMDb.
Oh, wow.
That is the most of any rating that we've had from any movie. That's 8% of the movies we've done.
Wow.
Is 7.0. And we have a firm belief that 7 is good. 7 and above is a good movie. 6.9 and below is just trash.
Dog
Pure
Really?
trash.
Dog shit.
Start
movie.
looking at IMDb next
That's
time.
crazy.
So this
Really?
is-
That's
per
a
the
great.
critics.
That is really helpful.
Yes.
Because like anytime I'm like watching, I'm like, what did they? I'm like, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
It's the cutoff.
We're all
point, man.
idiots.
That is the cutoff
That's great.
point.
Okay.
It's 7.0 is good. 6.9.
Ugh.
Okay.
You turn your nose up and walk away.
Yeah. Right.
TV guide.
And to put that into perspective, that is tied with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Happy Gilmore, Wayne's World, Uncle Buck.
Okay.
Of the movies we've done.
Say no more.
Solid.
Evidence speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what a 6.9 is?
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus,
Yep.
Flight of the Navigator,
Whoops.
50 First Dates,
Yep.
The Cutting Edge. It just goes, ah!
Oh man, I used to love Cutting Edge.
I
when
did
was a
too.
kid.
Yeah.
Toe
Toe
pick.
pick. Toe pick.
Watch it again, you'll go,
Oh, I'll be like, what? Oh, that happens with a lot of movies when I was a kid. When
Yeah.
I was like, this movie's the best. What was wrong with me? I was just like,
That's-
8.
that's how we get in the most trouble online
Yeah,
here is
right.
we trash a movie like Three Ninjas.
Yeah, right.
And people are like, what do you mean? And
Yeah.
we're like, you haven't watched this in 20 years.
Go watch it.
Yes,
Go
it's-
watch Three Ninjas.
It's nice. It's fun to watch for a bit, but it's not like, oh, that's a masterpiece.
no, yeah,
You know?
right, yeah.
I'm sorry, Blank Check is reminiscent to the dark side of Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah,
Paul Rubin.
it is.
Yeah, it's
it
weird.
skirts that level.
Yeah. So, well, the foremost serious movie review source, I think, TV Guide magazine,
Oh, hell yeah.
gave this an 88 out of 100. They did say, inspired lunacy, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is one of the most inventive films in recent memory. This clever and wholly original work incorporates a wide variety of cinematic tools with a fresh and unique sense of style.
Okay.
You gotta appreciate that.
TV Guide.
Yeah, TV Guide.
What the
Reviewing
fuck are they
movies.
doing reviewing? How dare they?
They had to fill some pages, apparently.
Yeah.
Those things were way too thick for their own good.
There were only a few channels back
We're
then.
losing sponsors. Fill it in with movies. I don't know. Chicago Tribune, Gene Siskel,
Hey.
I Dream of Jeannie Siskel, gave this a 0 out of 100.
Wow.
You can't do that.
You're not allowed.
He gave it 0 thumbs up. He said nothing, absolutely nothing at either point is the slightest bit funny. and that was written September 13th, 1985.
Jesus.
Wow.
I decided I spent some time genuinely trying to find like the full review. That excerpt is like the one thing I can find. So I
must have taken it down, probably, right?
He's probably was hiding in shame at this point. So I found some commentary on this, and this guy he gave some background. He said the reason Siskel didn't like the Pee-wee movie is that he knew the Pee-wee stage show and the Letterman appearances. The character was originally a weird, campy parody of kids shows, definitely for adults. He said that when they made the movie, they just made it into a straight kiddie show, and then he literally got a kiddie show on Saturday mornings. Probably Paul Reubens had to go in that direction since there wasn't much more he could do with his gimmick.
But why would that make you rate it 0?
I don't know. So he said, from Siskel's perspective, he was watching something offbeat and racy be Disney-fied.
I was going to say racist.
Yeah, racist.
It came close.
Yes.
Siskel.
Well,
Everything's racist. Yeah.
Is that what he sounds like?
Kind of.
I hope so.
He was a real
never
weirdo.
heard
You don't
Siskel talk
remember?
before.
Oh, yeah. Roger, hold on a minute, Roger.
Right.
Yeah, it was a lot of that. And it was the best when you just picture him like watching Three Ninjas. I was lost the entire time. Even the karate left something to be desired, Roger.
Yeah, they can't be-
exactly, Gene.
And they can't be that good at karate.
Yeah, but imagining him watch this like furious.
What?
Christ.
Stewing in his
Oh, his bike has rockets? Siskel.
just stewing in his home theater, just
Hey,
like
hey.
Yeah. Siskel, stop it.
stop.
This is ridiculous.
He's sitting
On
in the-
what planet?
He's in the same theater as you, and you're just like,
I'm whacking off
Yeah,
mine.
you're just like,
Jesus Christ.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck, dude, I'm going to launch a rocket of my own, Cisco.
Watch
My
out.
thumb's pointing up.
I'm about to give you. I got 2 thumbs up for you.
More butter?
Butter on your popcorn.
Say when.
You're gonna have to cut me off because I can't. I found this guy. His name was Outlaw Vern.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I figured I'd just say a little bit. He praised this movie very highly, and so I'll just try to get like an excerpt here.
Stars at night.
He
Big and
let's say he said, let's take what's happening in the 80s. You've got Ghostbusters, Princess Bride, This Is Spinal Tap, then you get Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He said that this is literally one of the greatest comedies that came out of the 80s. Contenders are like Raising Arizona and The Blues Brothers. He said it's a distinct tone and style that instantly is understandable but difficult to describe. Seeing it in the theater as a youth, it seems like the funniest movie ever. As I got older, it was one of my most repeatedly rented tapes. And after 35 years of this, it not only holds up, but takes on new dimensions. So I thought that was a pretty solid,
Cool.
Little takeaway.
Outlaw Jim, is that was his name?
Outlaw Vern.
Vern,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Vern. Yeah.
Jim Varney.
Jim Varney.
Yeah.
I got a couple of listeners that, just fans of the movie. One of them just said, this movie's great. It's 10 out of 10.
Nice.
JP Tiger.
That's what we like
4,
to see.
in 2001, had time to write this review. I know a lot of people think when they hear this name, Pee Wee Herman, that they think what a terrible actor and how not funny. But really, this movie is great, as its title said. There are so many funny parts to it that I find that whenever I watch it, I can't help but laugh. I recently received this movie on DVD, and I probably have watched it 10 times. If you need a great laugh, see this bodacious film. The totally radical lines are great, and who would have thought that he could swing on a vine like Tarzan on his bike?
Well,
I loved...
nobody.
No one. Who would have thought? Paul Rubens. I loved how at the end they made fun of all the WB stupid movies. This movie is a must-have.
All right.
Stoked. I love finding people that like there is a movie that is Sean says it best. Every movie is somebody's favorite movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
And like that's always great to hear from. Last one. This person felt the opposite in 2018. They said that this movie's absolute garbage. 1 out of 10. Annoying, acting person, overrated movie. What can I say? Another wrong rating that dragged me to watch this movie.
Nice.
I'm so furious at those nonsense people who, with their bad reviews and ratings, make busy people like me believe and start watching such scum.
Wow. Busy person. You wrote a fucking review. You ain't that busy. You ain't swamped.
You took an hour and a half to watch the movie.
You're sitting in your cubicle like, I better write that IMDb
Seriously. It's the nerve of saying you're busy in your movie review nobody asked for.
Oh, I
don't have time for this.
I got to book my time at the cafe so I can write my review.
Make sure people see you writing it.
This is 2000. Yeah, it'd be 2001. That's definitely internet cafe time. Where
Yeah,
you
right.
book
Yeah.
it.
You had to pay for your time.
Yeah.
Well, my dudes, I want to tell you a story. It happened on this very night 10 years ago on this very same podcast platform on this very same topic. I heard the worst podcast episode I've ever heard. Ooh. There was a sound like a garbage truck dropped off the Empire State Building. And when they finally pulled the podcaster's body from the twisted, burning wreck of an episode, it looked like this. And I'll superimpose that large march. Okay, cool. Yes, sir, the worst podcast I've ever heard. Let's hope this one's better. Here we go.
Nice.
So scene 1, Pee Wee Herman wakes up from a dream.
What if
in which
I'd never seen the movie and I was like, what is he doing? I never watched it.
You know what? I'm not going to put large march on me going.
Is he good right now?
Yeah.
Seems dramatic and then, okay.
Okay.
So Pee Wee Herman wakes from a dream in which he's won the Tour de France. After having breakfast, he has a run-in with Francis Buxton and then rides his bike to go shopping. After a stop at the Magic Store and talking to Dottie at his bike shop, he leaves and finds out that his bike is gone. This is kind of what we talked about. I wonder if you'll agree with me. The creepy underlying nature of this movie, even this dream, has weird creepiness to it. Like how he wins the race and they take him to that little platform that's just in the middle of the yard, but then everybody like leaves and he's by himself with his eyes closed.
Yep.
I don't know why, but it like creeped me out as a kid.
Super weird. It totally is a weird choice. And also, it then is the magic of that breakfast scene. Like when I was a kid, like I was like, how do I get this going? And then really watching it again, I swear it's so funny. Kid mind, I was like, this is the best thing ever. Adult mind, I was like, what a nightmare every night must be. He's like, gotta put the fucking batter out. You know what I mean? He's like a bottle of wine deep, and he's like, gotta get the fucking batter out. Oh, fuck, I forgot about the dog food. Fucking hey.
Oh, I didn't put the orange in the
I gotta
hand.
put Specs fucking food there, get that fucking, the eggs,
I didn't
orange
stop.
juice. Only to be like, I don't eat it.
I just play with it, literally.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, I noticed that. So the one I noticed in particular was every night he has to tie an anvil with a string, and he's got to held it up so that he can light the candle.
Hell.
What the heck?
Just for mourning him to be like, such ease. I was like, yeah, his fucking nut. He was probably like, it's 145.
It's like,
Was he
the batter?
Was he ahead
by
of
the
his
way,
time
who the
though?
hell's cleaning it up? By the
Oh
way?
yeah,
Yeah,
He's got to put it all together
Yeah.
at night. But who's cleaning up? He ate six morsels of food off
Yeah.
that plate.
We didn't see like the wind-up toys that he has like as like Roombas back then that just came in like an army of cleaners that
Yeah,
came
better
out.
be.
Was he like ahead of his time though? This seems like the modern day of, or that seems like the 80s version of like a house automated by Google now. Like, hey Google, make me breakfast. Pretty
It's
much.
like the 80s version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was similar. I mean, I think it's funny because it's one of those things too where you see these tropes.
Oh, I said, hey Google.
Oh, it was like, what do you need, master?
The room's talking to us.
Do you need waffles? Yes.
We've got our own Rube Gold, whatever machine it is here. It's just started by Google.
What a nightmare.
But of all the gadgets, like if you could have one that you could actually have in your house, which one are you picking? For me, I think it's the roll-up bed sheet that he just goes and it goes and it just rolls up at the edge of his bed. I kind of like the idea of that.
I like that too. I mean, an
What
egg.
if it got caught? I mean,
Yeah, it'd be terrible. Yeah.
so they're fighting with the blinds like, come on.
Or you got
A
morning.
man dead by his own bed sheet, Tom.
He was caught on his morning wood boner, and he lost all circulation in his body. Back to you.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was the egg. The way that the eggs for me were clutch.
You mean with the face and like the bacon and stuff?
The egg, the way that he could make eggs, I was like, oh man, that would be handy.
Went through like the gerbil tubes pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, like, came up
By
on
the way,
thing.
knowing what we know now.
Hey, all right.
Now we understand that maybe the gerbil tubes aren't as clean as what they should be.
Poor gerbils.
Oh. Notice there weren't any gerbils there.
No.
Oh no!
That's why he wasn't hungry.
Spiritually.
I'm going with the pole. I mean, I need that in my house real bad.
Pole's good.
But he does have steps going back upstairs, I'm assuming, right?
Oh,
What
yeah.
if he did?
What if he does it?
Again.
I'm sorry. It's the
Ow.
only way.
He's only 95 pounds. You see him on the scale?
Oh yeah.
It's clearly because he doesn't obviously eat Mr.
Yeah,
T cereal,
he
and he just climbs himself back up.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mr. T cereal?
I do, yeah.
So most people think that was a made-up prop.
No,
that was
I
a
remember
real
Mr. T cereal. Yeah, I definitely ate Mr. T cereal.
And you're like, what's special about it? Oh, they're just teas.
Yeah, I was
just
like,
little
I'm not
teas.
getting stronger. I'm getting fatter. The fuck is with this cereal?
Is that why you had to sneak it in from your dad?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this is such a play on, again, what you think is so cool as a kid. Then you go to the exterior of his house and you're like, oh my God, he's got a rocket ship and then as an adult, you're just sitting here going, oh my God, what if I had to live next to this guy?
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
His neighbor
They even
seems so
show his
friendly
neighbor.
too.
Yeah, his neighbor's like, all right, shut the goddamn window.
But he's genuinely happy about it.
Yes.
I guess finally. Well, at least he's warning me now.
Yeah.
Because like it used to be, he wasn't warning him, and like not only was it water going through there, it
He's
was
like my work.
yeah. It's like,
Fuck.
I'm using a typewriter for this shit.
What?
And all my papers.
He's just
they're
sitting
damp
there.
now.
He's sitting there like with his morning coffee, just like, what a good morning. Jesus Christ.
Morning. Yeah, you fucking weird.
Fuck off.
But what about Pee-wee's like? The thing I didn't appreciate as a kid is the physical like comedy of Pee-wee. Even just his little movements, like when he wakes up and he gets the weights and he just goes.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it either until I realized how anxious it fucking makes me watching him now. Because oh my gosh, he is just like twitching constantly and just like and just
It is very
constantly moving.
spastic. It was like
Yeah.
I kind of forgot how much he's going like
Yeah.
like I was like because I think as a kid I loved it. That was the only thing that I found a little more annoying at the beginning was just the level of like
Yeah.
I was like, dude, buddy, relax. It's just you.
You saw that
Chill
guy
out.
actually walking down the street or riding a bike that looked like that,
Yeah.
mumbling to himself and going, "Yeah," like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You'd be like, stay away from that guy, kids.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just don't go near that guy.
Yet none of the parents in the neighborhood seem to have any problems with
No.
Pee-wee hanging around.
point.
By the way, when we were kids, they never would. I mean, I was just like,
back
look,
for the
one out of
fight.
five. One out of five got molested. It was just how it was.
It's just
You made it.
Yeah, you made it. Yeah,
it's a different time back
It
then.
was.
The unluck of the draw.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of you. I don't know.
Your dad's looking at the 5 kids being like, well, it's going to be one of you.
Listen, you can come home when you want. Okay, there's downside to that freedom.
Yeah, that's right. You got to give them some boundaries, otherwise, well, they become 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I do just like the whimsical nature of it, though. Like, obviously, it's a different kind of thing with like telling the stories. Like, and like you said in the beginning, it's very surreal. It's kind of like almost Brian De Palma-ish kind of filmmaking with like a kind of like a greasy stain on the lens. Pretty much, it kind of seems like just to like have that dream like. But even like the freedom to just fuck off and go to a magic shop. Like, what does Pee-wee do? You know, it's like
He's
I
on
like
unemployment.
yeah. I like watching the movie because I think
I
it's
got
just
injured
like
on a work site.
you
Beam hit my head.
did construction, yeah.
Yeah.
But just like the freedom, like I think that's why I like watching this character just do whatever. Is like, oh, I wish I could just fuck off and go to the magic shop on a Wednesday. You know,
Well, it's also like that. It is. I mean, it's this is old curmudgeon-y shit, but movies just went fast.
Yes.
You just were in. It was like he's going to the magic shop. You meet Francis. Everything's established. Your critical moment starts so early.
It's like 7 minutes in.
7 minutes in, you're like, oh, here's our problem.
He loves this bike.
Loves
Oh,
this bike.
Now he doesn't
the
have a
bike's
bike
gone.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like, but no, we do this all the time. We watch a lot of movies here, and we all collectively have the thing where we hit play on like Netflix, and it shows you how long the movie is. And when it's 90 minutes, you're like, "Fuck yes,
Oh, thank God.
yes, 90
Yeah.
minutes."
Yes, it's a pleasure.
It really is.
Yes, instead of now when it was like I remember when I watched Dune, like someone was like, you gotta, like my friend was over when I was watching Dune, and I was sitting there and I was like, I'm gonna finish this just to show you that I can finish this movie. But what the fuck is going on? This movie does not need to be this long. They just don't need. And people are like, well, that's like the book. I'm like, yeah. You know what they
So
did?
go
They've always made books into movies. And it's not new. It's not like you got to do page for page honoring. Right.
It's like that Jim Gaffigan joke where he's like, "Oh, the movie was much better. You know what I liked about the book? No reading.
Yeah.
It was done in 90 minutes. Had time for a nap."
Yeah.
Like, duh,
I
dude.
was good with it. Like at that point, I would have read the book if I wanted to deal with all that shit.
But if you read the book Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I'm just that'd be amazing.
You know, the visual aids do really work in the movie, I guess.
Charles Dickens really had a thing going on when he wrote
Pee-wee
Pee-wee.
poured Mr. T on his eggs and started to crunch it.
Started to crunch them,
Ha,
taking
ha, he said
Crunch, crunch.
to himself.
Crunch, crunch.
after immediate one bite, he dabs his mouth corners and walks on. It's like,
He laughs
See you
again.
later, Speck, he
Riveting.
said to his loyal pup.
Speck longingly looked as he walked out the front
Well, they
door.
do that now, too. Or
knowing
like,
he
they
wasn't
did
going to
that-
see him in weeks. So.
They did that. He did that. Yeah, right. So, Speck is dead.
He gets home, he's so happy he found his bike, but Speck's dead.
Speck's dead, clawing at the doors.
He just tried to climb the ceiling to eat the pancakes, but was unable to make it all the way up
Claw
there.
marks on the kitchen table
Boy, that's
legs.
a violent passing of my dog. Pee-wee.
That's the sequel I wanted.
Yeah.
Speck's revenge or what?
Oh, but what about again how quickly this turns creepy? We get that scene where his bike's gone and this clown is turned to evil.
Oh,
It-
dude.
The
And
Dutch
red.
angle.
That really I remember so clearly being so creeped out by the clown, being very much
Because his face changes, right? Like
yeah,
did
yeah.
they
It
just
goes
paint
from like a happy little clown to like evil, mean clown.
and again, it's a lot of it's the music too. Because when he's first seeing him, it's like, "Da, da, 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 da," but
Yeah.
then here comes Elfman's score for
Yeah.
the second part, just dun dun dun.
Oh,
The camera angle's like zooming in on him.
Yeah.
they turn on kids real quick in this movie. All of a sudden, they're just like, all right, I think we got them roped in. Let's creep them the fuck out. Like that's just what they decided
They
to
do
do.
rope-a-dope you.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
Because I'll be honest with you, seeing this now, I still don't like clowns, guys, and I kind of feel a little. I feel a little bit misled actually by doing this movie. You guys know I didn't like clowns.
Yeah, sorry,
And
man.
here we are, and it gets even worse. You could have told me it got worse, but this clown is terrifying. I expected it to be somebody who jumped out. Did anybody else feel that? Or like,
As a kid, I thought the clowns took it.
I thought
That clown took
Yeah,
it,
yeah, you
hit
did
it,
think it was
and
at
got
all.
back.
Like you moved on. You're like, man, go back talk to that clown a little bit.
There's some investigating to do over there.
The clown knew something, Pee-wee.
retrace your steps. The clown
clown.
mafia.
Well, I don't trust anybody that likes clowns.
Yeah.
Like you can dislike
a
them all
weird-
you.
Yeah.
Like my thing is I like clowns.
Yeah.
No, I
Oh,
don't.
you like that?
I don't
I
trust
love
you.
a clown.
Oh man, a good clown.
I love a clown. Oh, thank God, clowns.
Gareth shows up to his show tomorrow night here in Des Moines, and the
Yeah.
opener is a guy dressed in a clown
Hey,
outfit.
how are
This is my
ya?
thing.
Yeah, good stuff. That'll work. That'll go long.
They got
Wow.
clowns here. Or,
That's cool.
Well, let's move on to scene 2, fellas. So Pee-wee surmises that Francis Buxton must have taken it and attacks him in his house. Francis lies that he didn't take it, and Pee-wee continues his search. Meanwhile, Francis pays a thug to get rid of it. Pee-wee visits a psychic who convinces Pee-wee that his bike is in the basement of the Alamo.
So good.
It is.
It really is just like that is the thing. It's such a it's so funny to hear that he like put it together the way you're saying because it is a really well constructed story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just is. It's like you're invested, even as dumb as it is that he goes to a fortune teller. It's the basement of the Alamo. It's just
Yeah.
so dumb.
It is really
but it
dumb.
is also like the adventure is set in motion so simply that it is.
It
like-
really just works. I totally agree. And like what you were saying with Netflix movies being like 2.5 hours long or Dune is just like a movie like this, just the one MacGuffin, he's looking for a
Yeah.
thing and that's the movie.
Yep.
You know, and then we're just going to fill it in as we go
Yep.
with our quirkiness.
That
you
might
know?
be a reason people kind of have that nostalgic yearning for the 80s and the 90s in movies when we talk about this is because a lot of them were just like, here's your movie.
Yeah.
Dumb kids, go watch it.
Yeah,
It was it.
It's like it was just about creating, like embedding these like nostalgic memories for you, rather than trying to invest in this deep story and backing. You know, it's like, yep, we're just in, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, it is. It is just like you said, the MacGuffin of the bike. You're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's party.
It's really funny how you see a movie different as a kid and an adult. I remember he goes back to the shop. He's talking to Dottie. Bike's gone. He's like, Dottie, leave me alone. My bike was everything to me. And back in the day, you're like, yeah, Dottie, come on. Like, we got to go find the bike. Now I'm like, Pee-wee, just let Dottie take care of you. Become a man, and you will fucking not care about a bike ever again for the rest of your life. You got Dottie here.
You got Dottie.
He's playing.
You don't need a bike ever again.
He's playing really hard to get. Though.
You don't
Like,
need to
it
ride
might
the bike
work.
anymore. You need to go ride Dottie. Damn it!
Come on.
He is actually teaching. He's teaching you to play hard to get. I never
yeah.
picked up on that. I was not good at that. And in relationships, I'd be like, I fucking love you. I love you so
You
much.
want to go to the movies? Fuck no.
Yeah, he just didn't give it up for free. By the way, when you see his bachelor lifestyle, you're like, you bring a woman into that house, or you fucking, she'll be like, really? Why don't we make breakfast together? He'd be like, I made a machine. The fuck are you talking about?
She goes down and
I
makes
got
it
you
without.
a regular sized toothbrush. Like, what the fuck? We have all those cavities in the back because it won't reach there. I like them back there.
I like the taste of my cavities. Like,
Honey, I went down to the mall and I went to the Express and I bought you some clothes, but I like my suit and my boots.
well, you've worn it 8 years in a row. I thought we should get one that's clean.
Imagine her, like, you see Pee-wee in a relationship. He's got, like, bangs. He's wearing, like, a three-piece suit. No bow tie. The bike's a scooter. Hello.
You'll get there, Pee-wee. You'll get there.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
He's gonna. If he was in a relationship, he'd come home at one point and be like, "What happened to all my stuff?" And it's just it's like, well, I moved some of that into the garage and I set up like a nice sitting area for it. So it's like, I like sitting on the hand that grabbed my ass. Like, I don't know. He just got all of his whole Rube Goldberg machine is just dismantled. I can't imagine like what kind of hell that would be for Pee-wee.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
That's the sequel.
like, how the hell am I supposed to put this together for breakfast?
Oh, I
tomorrow?
filled in the fire pole hole.
Yeah.
What?
That's my
there's
favorite
some
part.
stairs.
We're writing better sequels already. We've written it twice. Did you recognize Dottie at all? Elizabeth Daly, the
No.
actress?
E.G. Daily.
She's like prominent voice actor. What would you say the most important is she was Tommy Pickles from Rugrats.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
wow.
Nickelodeon show.
Oh, wow,
you hear
yeah.
that voice of hers and you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then you look it up and
good
she's
for
like
her.
prominent voice
I
actor.
made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think she.
Doing just fine.
She's in Devil's Rejects as well.
Oh, really?
If anybody's a Rob Zombie fan here.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
am.
know me.
Yeah. More clowns. Yeah, she's really good in that too. It's like I haven't seen her in like anything up until then, and she's still looked really good. It's crazy.
Good for
Yeah.
her.
Can we talk about Francis Buxton for a second?
Sure.
Please.
Because I kind of want his shirt that just says FB because I think that's a ploy that just means fat bitch. It's like because that's essentially what he is in this movie.
He's such a great. I mean, I've only know that actor from a couple other things, Teen Wolf among them, where he's like a fine guy.
Totally.
But he's such a good, smarmy shit.
Yeah.
It's like you really don't. There's not a lot of like runway for that guy to do too much, but he is so dislikable so immediately. Like right away, you're like, I don't like you. Like you
Instantly.
just right away don't like him and love Pee-wee and hate Francis.
It's right when he's
and the name,
oh
Yes.
Francis.
Francis.
Buxton.
Buxton.
so good.
Like it. I mean, you know to dislike him as he is walking up, like that
Yeah.
swagger he's got walking up there, like
Hi, Pee-wee.
and just like you're like, yep.
you are, but what about That's the other thing. They're dropping so many catchphrases. And like,
And that's
You're right.
made up in this movie, right? I
Yeah.
know you are.
I think so.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It had to have been.
yeah, it was, yeah.
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 Wild.
Yeah.
Because like you think of that as just like, well, yeah. I know
Yeah,
you are.
it
What
was.
about-
That's what he would do to
All you
hecklers.
did. You'd be like, I know you are. What people dude, seriously, try to have a real conversation.
Oh, we're trying to have a real conversation. Oh, we're trying to. Stop saying that. Stop saying that.
Yeah, he would do that to actual hecklers at his shows.
Really?
Like when he did stand up, he would just do that to him.
Oh, that's so.
So I don't know,
funny.
take some notes or.
I don't know if it'll match up so well.
I don't know.
I'm being respectful. I know you are, but what am I?
No, I'm having a good time. I know you are.
How did it do on TikTok? Not good.
Well, we got to consult. If we're talking about Francis's house, we got to talk about the pool. Because, like we mentioned this before, I always generally thought that was an actual huge bathtub.
Yes.
But it's just a pool, right?
Pool.
It's a pool with a fake little faucet
Yeah, you
and
can
like
tell
handles.
they just someone built some silver faucets.
I'd never, as a kid, thought anything other than that's a bathtub.
No, he's in the bath. Well, yeah, where are they hosing him down? Yeah. But yeah, no, it was. And I think that what like it was again, I mean, it is Tim Burton. When you like get to know like his work as you get older, you are like he just does have this amazing way of bringing you into odd worlds. He does it a lot. Like you think about how fantastical his other movies are. He did this one in kind of a lower rent version, but it's still so there that everything's fantastical. It's big. He doesn't have a big bathtub. He has a fucking pool.
Yeah.
Like like all of it was just very over the top, and it is funny because you're like you have no fucking clue what this guy's going to go on to do.
Yeah.
No.
But it is like he does such a good job of that he makes you think a pool is a bathtub.
Yeah.
Part of it is that we were like, children with brains that weren't formed. But it really was like as a kid, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
In reality, that guy was probably like, the actor was probably like, I was fucking freezing.
Yeah. Shit.
We do 2 more. He was like, hurry.
That pool's
Sorry,
not
I'm
heated,
brooding.
Yeah,
It's right.
Like,
Yeah.
he's not taking a warm bath. He's got to take cold baths this whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's early in application of the cold plunge, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, that's fine. But I don't know. I think I like what you're saying though, is because we already got enough outlandish shit already in this movie that a bathtub that's that size, it's normal.
Makes
Oh, yeah, you
sense.
didn't even think about it.
At this
100%.
point, you do not think
Yeah.
about it whatsoever.
Well, to piggyback on like the Burtonness of it, when I was like getting into Burton movies, obviously I watched Batman first, and I was so enamored with it. And then I started watching more of his movies. Like I got to Edward Scissorhands and everything after that. And then I found out that this was his first movie. Like after I had watched all those, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that makes so much goddamn sense.
Yeah.
Like even the lighting, like the Dutch angles on
Yeah, the
whatever.
way, yep.
It's just it makes so much sense.
Yeah, that
You're right.
clown angle. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, no.
Well, and then he goes to meet this psychic, convincing him that he's in the base. First of all, that creepiness that he sets up again of this rain-soaked alley and that shadow.
Dude, that's so good. I love that.
I'm turning my
wonder, too,
eyeballs on all this.
It would be very interesting to know, like, what the original script was like, because surely Tim Burton was, like, saying we should add, like, some eerie elements.
Definitely.
To this shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that, like the so crazy.
And that was Tim Burton, that like homeless guy.
He
or
was
whatever.
one of the thugs
Like,
or
said,
something.
was he
Say
really?
get
Oh,
off my
that's so
turf.
funny.
Yeah, that was Tim Burton
That's so
apparently.
funny.
There's those are the elements to like the big shadow on the wall, and like especially when we get into it later, he's telling people to shush, like a whole crowd of like bikers to shush. Things like this is just very. It's a live action cartoon.
Yeah.
And I think if you can't, by this point, you can't convince yourself that that's what this is, then you're probably going to find your way out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not really let yourself get immersed in this world.
It's funny when you brought up the Blues Brothers with the rating too, because it's very similar to the Blues Brothers, where it's
Yeah.
just kind of like magic exists
Yeah.
a little bit.
And like just believe it.
Yeah, just go along with it. Otherwise, you probably will hate it.
Yeah. We're not here to convince
Gene
you. You
Siskel.
can either get on board or get off. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like kind of like same thing, basically like a MacGuffin for, in the Blues Brothers essentially too. But it's just a mission with a bunch of weird pit stops.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're into like some weird magic, enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of magic, I legit thought she was like figuring this out as a kid for some reason. Like I didn't catch on the
That's
like
so
she's
funny.
making it up. I was like, oh man, like wow, she's really, because he turns the ball on. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah. But like, what a great play on him just being, because he's so stupid that he leaves his wallet with her.
That's what I was going to say, too. Later, when he acknowledges he doesn't have his wallet in that scene where he needs to wash the dishes, like, as a kid, I don't think I had any connection to that mattering. I was like, you're just doing dishes, whatever. He forgot, but it's like, yeah, she fucking took it. And
4 days later, he figured it out.
Yeah.
He never spends money on anything.
He doesn't need to.
I still forgot that until you just brought it up, Mike. So I was like, well, that's my fault.
The Alamo.
By the way, prop is his wallet for my prop.
You want a prop?
Yeah.
All right.
If you could pick any prop from this movie, what would it be?
You can take an actual item from the movie home with you and put it on your shelf.
But yeah, I mean,
Classic.
I was going to let him have it.
Yeah.
well, I want this wallet because he's got all the pictures of him with his bike in it. I want that stuff.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
What, you got a prop on this one?
I think I want the bike's horn.
Nice.
What is that?
It had like
item.
Lion head.
Item.
Oh, no, that.
Evidence item B or C or whatever he calls it. Yeah.
E. Someone keeps netting and netting and netting.
I want the.
What do you got, Amazing Larry?
Oh, the best.
Amazing
Sorry,
Larry.
dude. I was just to help. We talk about helping you. Sorry, just.
I'm amazing. I'm Amazing Larry.
So you'd like to share with the rest of us, Amazing Larry?
Why is he Amazing Larry? I want that
That's
backstory.
one of
Why can't we
those
figure that
things
out?
too, where it's just like. I wonder who it is, Tim Burton or him, but either one. They were just like, we will not. You will never know anything else about him.
You may never see him again either. but this
I
is
hope
it.
that Paul Rubens just called him Amazing Larry.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, yeah.
I gotta take the big thumb that he starts using in
hell
scene
yeah.
3.
It's
great.
I feel like we could use that for something.
100%.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's move on to scene 3. So on his journey to the Alamo, Pee-wee encounters an escaped criminal named Mickey. He helps them get past a roadblock, but ends up driving the car off a cliff, and Mickey leaves him. A trucker named Large Marge picks him up, drops him off at a restaurant. He lost his wallet, so he's forced into doing dishes. A friendly waitress named Simone asks him to watch the sunrise with her. When he gets picked up by Mickey, did you see how fast there's this wide angle of Pee-wee standing there with his thumb out. Convertible goes flying by and then immediately backs up. Did you see how fast that was?
No.
Never noticed it as a kid, so I kept rewinding it going, they must have been like fast forward or something. No, this is real time. What the fuck is going on? I did it 5 times. It's a different car.
Oh,
There's a slight, there's like this black mark on the back of the first car, and there's not a black mark on the. So the one car goes flying by and just keeps going,
And then they
while the other one just backs up with Mickey in
It's
it.
so cool.
fucking
Genius
great.
filmmaking. And as a kid, you're like, whoa.
And I guarantee you, like, an AD was like, do you need to have, because we could have him go, you know. and you're like,
Another
listen,
camera angle?
Yeah.
just cut it.
Like,
And
listen,
then, like,
trust me, I'm Tim Burton. We need
You're
two
who?
fucking guys.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, he's like, this is important for the joke. I need to have this.
That's so funny.
Like even in what you're saying there, like the egg in the beginning, I could tell that there's no way that egg would be intact if it like came down, and so they just had another thing with an egg on it already,
Yeah, right,
you know, and
yeah.
just shit like that. It's visual filmmaking at its finest, I think.
Yeah, it's practical, and it's so much better than having to do. I mean, there are some cuts in here that, like, maybe we'll bring them up, but there are some cuts in here that are fun. But then the practical effects and the practical filmmaking, I think, is honestly just what makes this movie as good as it is.
Yeah.
So,
I have a question for all of you guys. Did you think that cutting the tags off of mattresses would be a bigger deal
Yes.
as an adult
Yes.
because of this movie?
Yeah, I mean, I remember that, seeing that as a kid, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Went to jail?
yeah, you were like, what? How do they know?
Is that where some of that
How do
came
they
from?
know?
Yeah.
Is that like where some of this fear came from with this
I
movie? Maybe.
truthfully believe some of it came from this movie.
I mean, hey,
Yeah, it probably did.
Because where else would you be like
Cut
scared
that
of
tag
like,
off.
well, I can't cut that tag off. It says do not cut the tag
It's
off.
crazy.
Did you see Pee Wee Herman?
Did you see Mickey?
You can't cut that off.
How did that happen? Like, who in the mattress universe was like, look, we're not asking for a lot, but it is a huge problem if people remove the tag. And someone's like, we're trying to push it through, but I mean, good Lord.
how are
There's a
they
lot
supposed to know? They're-
Why is it a big problem? Don't ask me why. I don't know.
Look. Just leave the goddamn tag on the mat. We're not asking for have we asked you to legislate it? Well, no, your mattresses. So exactly. So one thing, leave the fucking tag. It's fucking bullshit to cut the tag off.
You know what? Go home and sleep on it. All right.
I feel like people know not to start fires on mattresses. No, we want the tag and tag.
Look, let me ask you this: what is the downside to making it? You don't even need to enforce it. You don't even need to enforce it. Just put it on there and say that you will.
Put it in a movie. The Pee-wee's Big Adventure's coming out. We're gonna do like a weird skit in there. He'll be super afraid.
Craziest fucking thing.
What if there was a division of the police that enforced that?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Had a thing that wouldn't tear it off.
Police force and
So
then there's mattress tag police force.
We're not even saying that you cut the tag off, but do you know where it would be? I really don't. Sir.
I'm just saying.
This is crazy.
I think it'd be a big help to your case here if we did in fact have the tag that we could.
Have you slept on this bed before?
All right, look, we'll be back in a couple days.
Do you?
What?
Why?
The fuck are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I do love Judd Omen in this as Mickey. Like
Great.
he was in, we called him Jawline of the Century when he was in.
Was it Red Dawn?
Red Dawn.
Yeah.
He was the Nicaraguan captain in Red
wow.
Dawn.
Okay.
Dude's got like the best jawline ever, and I think he's great in this little role. And that's why maybe I love this movie so much is that I don't think Pee-wee could do the whole movie. It couldn't just be a Pee-wee movie like we saw in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes. These little just 5-minute like characters that come into his life, I think they make this whole movie. Yeah. And it kind of starts
They are
with Mickey.
great. And what's great too is like I was thinking about that. Like if you remade this movie, they would want to put stunt casting in every role.
Oh yeah.
And there's something
Totally.
so great about you're just like they're very good, engaging people who are not known.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you were to do it now, you'd be like, well, no, that'll be Bradley Cooper. It's like, but it's just kind of like these randos,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're all great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll do a great job, and I think even we get to the when it eventually gets to the Alamo like tour, like that tour guide.
Oh man.
That
Jan
tour guide,
Hooks.
she was
Jan Hooks.
Yeah, she was just improvising and just saying lines.
She's
She's so good.
Good. But
Like-
Jan Hooks, as far as like SNL performer, like truly is one of the greats.
She never was more than just kind of that secondary B.
She
character.
had some stuff, yeah, but it was like she had a couple things, like her and I forget what was her name, Lorraine Newman. They had some character, but she's a murderer, and that's it. The way that she just is, like it is, she's fantastic.
I had never really seen.
Yeah,
I never really seen any like her stint in SNL or anything like that. And she was like, I'm like, this girl is a star.
She's so
while watching this movie.
This might have been. This was before that. She
Yeah,
was
it was
like
before
She was like in
SNL.
the Farley Sandler era a little
she
bit. Wasn't
preceded. She was more like the Carvey Lovitz era.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
really?
right.
But Phil Hartman too. Like there's
Yes.
that connection. Like so, they were right around the same time. She was probably on a little bit before Phil Hartman was on SNL. But yeah, she was a murderer.
To talk about the side characters, I totally agree with what you said earlier. With like he's watching this modern day, he's kind of annoying in the beginning by himself.
Yeah.
And so if this movie was just him, I don't know if it'd be as great because a lot of these people too were just like even his friends, I guess, like Jan Hooks, but. A lot of these people too were regulars on his show, like the stage show.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he would
Phil
just use
Hartman
them.
was on the TV show too, and like, but he basically cut Phil Hartman out of the show. He
Really?
eventually like he wrongs Phil Hartman in real life.
Oh, man,
really?
That's
Yeah.
a bummer.
I did
Huh.
not know that.
Yeah.
I love Phil Hartman.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I think I could have done without is maybe the eyeball animation here when he gets dropped off by Mickey. Like I like
yeah.
it, but it maybe feels the most out of place of anything in this movie.
It's very strange.
Just for a quick little second. You probably liked it though. You gave me an ah.
No, I thought you were going to talk about Large Marge. And
Well, no, before we get to Large Marge,
yeah.
just this quick little scene of the eyeballs, and then he turns it on. It's a funny joke. There's all these animals around him, but
Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe we could have just Mickey's headlights drive away, Large Marge truck pulls in.
I think I agree with you.
It is weird. It's also I do remember as a kid seeing the road signs of how the road is curving. That like tripping me out.
I'm never gonna
He's
drive,
not gonna be
man."
able to stick that. Like I was like, oh, last one's fucking bullshit.
was like,
that road should be closed down.
Why didn't they just make it straight?
Yeah.
Why'd they have to do that? I'm never getting my license. This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I definitely like have been driving like through California late at night and been like, oh, look, thinking about those road signs, like, because you do see them sometimes. You're like, what is that would even? Well, that's not helpful. It's like scarier. Falling rocks is the best sign.
Yeah, it is.
To
Yes.
drive. You're like,
Yeah.
cool, good stuff.
Cool. Never seen one.
I'll make no adjustment. Thank you for that heads up. Just a little bit of agita is nice.
Should I drive faster, slower? How should I approach this?
The plan here. Okay, cool.
It is like when there's a deer sign in Iowa.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, well, when I see one, we'll stop.
Okie dokie.
We'll cross that bridge when it gets here.
Dude, I heard a story yesterday that someone blamed the deer for their accident.
Yeah,
like they
is
thought
bullshit.
that the deer sign was for the deer to be like, hey, don't cross the road.
Oh my God.
That's serious.
Cannot be.
If they wouldn't have put a deer crossing in there, I wouldn't have hit it.
No, if he saw the sign, he would have knew.
Why are they letting the deer cross here at the road
It's
when
crazy.
they should do it down the way?
Make them hit a button.
Yeah.
That's
Just a
remarkable.
I'm going to believe that that's real.
I choose to
I'm gonna
believe
live with
too.
that.
Yeah.
I choose to believe.
Yeah, that's the
fine
world.
with that.
That's the
It's
world we're
canon.
living in.
So what about Large Marge here, though? Because I don't know if
best.
you guys can agree with me on this, but I remember this being scarier.
Oh, well, it still is fucking creepy.
It is.
But yeah, it freaked me out.
It was one of those like, yeah, real quick, I'm just going to kind of go, oh, shit, did I miss it? Oh, wow, okay. she's
Yeah,
back to normal.
it is insanely scary.
Especially the lead up to it. Like I love story time in movies where
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
movies will just take their time to just like tell a scary story real quick, and this one's great. Like
Oh,
the a legend of the highway, you know.
Yeah.
And then like when she does her face, did you guys see that it was the Chiodos brothers who made Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Oh, no.
Who did that animation?
God damn it.
But it's really cool. And she's really great.
She's
as this
great.
part.
It's so eerie. It's paid off so well in that next scene.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I remember that too. I was like, God damn, what the fuck? Yeah.
Her ghost.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that they all say it in unison
And
before him.
but kind of bored. They say it really bored. Like
Yeah.
every night this happens,
Yeah.
someone gets dropped off by Large
Jesus,
Marge.
Marge.
Oh, fuck. Okay, here's the guy. Ready? Act scared. All right.
Yeah.
Well, somebody.
Oh.
How great would it be if you were like a rideshare driver to just get it so your picture was Large Marge and just said Marge? Just someone would be like, is that Large? Is that Large Marge?
She's got a really good rating.
Got 3.5 stars. I know why. And she got me here, but what the fuck? She's dead.
Yeah. I left a comment saying less conversation for the next ride. So, I hope she gets the advice.
Telling me this really weird story about how she's undead.
I tried saying no. I don't
She
really
didn't
want to talk.
say it, but she implied.
Yeah, yeah.
Then the truckers told me that she was dead.
Hey, I'm not going to this restaurant.
Yes.
This
What?
isn't- Hey, this isn't where.
Oh man.
Did you take a wrong turn? Well, the screwy roads.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I can't even keep track. Like,
Did you notice too when she is telling her story that she never blinks?
Yes.
Yeah. It's
I think that
crazy.
even makes it worse. Like that she just never blinks the whole time.
If you watch right before, so Pee Wee gets into the truck and then they pull away, she blinks one time in that little tiny clip, and then after that, no blinks. And so for some reason that makes it worse for me.
Okay.
You know, because she did do it once, and I'm sure it's probably just like a gaff, like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it was
Or
just like
maybe
a-
they weren't even. Maybe this
How-
wasn't even direction. Maybe
Maybe
she was just like.
It's also fun to think that it was, and she
Yeah.
would be like, "Sorry, Tim. Back to one. Sorry.
Worst
sorry.
accent
Paul.
I've ever seen.
Sorry.
Yeah, shit.
Just my eyes are so dry right now.
There's
from doing
fucking
that.
5 pages
She
of
doesn't
this,
blink.
Tim.
Okay.
Oh my god,
sure
what
it
happened? I
happens.
blacked out. You know, it's like,
It's cool. I heard a story that Paul Rubens, like she was self-conscious about this performance apparently.
Okay.
And Paul Rubens was like, "You're gonna be like the most memorable, one of the most memorable things about this movie," and she legit is.
Oh yeah.
right.
And she
Large
was like,
Marge is totally.
when she was kind of dying or something, and he like visited her, and that's what he told her, and he's like, "Yeah, people love you, dude. Like I don't think you understand."
If I were her, my last words would have been, "I'll tell him Large Marge sent me."
Write that on my grave.
yeah.
But your name's
It's on her
Catherine.
gravestone. Yeah.
But actually, and she was single-handedly responsible for probably no kids ever being named Marge for the rest
Yeah.
of
Oh
their
my
life.
god.
Yeah.
Large Marge, we can't do that.
Well,
Yeah.
we can't do that.
When we had our
Yeah.
kid, when we had my little girl, it was like, well, we had to run through the names, be like, okay, what could you possibly call this little girl?
Marge.
Yeah.
Marge, no, Large Marge.
Can't do that.
We had a bully at our local pool who was
Bathtub.
yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Professor Tanaka.
She was a bigger girl, and since she was a bully, we called her Large Marge.
That's okay if she was a bully.
She was a bully. She was
And
a bully.
because she was a bully, that story's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you, everybody.
She was the
Commenters.
bully, not us.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
She was a disgraceful person.
she hit me. All right.
She hit him.
Yeah.
Speaking of things I thought were going to be a bigger problem in life, I legitimately thought that if I wasn't able to pay for a meal ever, that I'd have to wash dishes.
I love this.
I still feel like that sticks with me. I still feel like they're gonna be like, buddy, no, you put them over. What the fuck are you? You'd be like, I didn't. Someone robbed me. I was robbed.
A fortune teller.
Talk about the worst place to put somebody on a busy night. Like that you need like not good help.
Like there's obviously a dish.
unexperienced help.
They couldn't have gone into that night not having a dishwasher. So there was a dishwasher there who they came back and said, "Bill, you got to get out of here. I need the hours." Well, this guy's got to work his shit off.
God damn it! It's the third night this week.
Wasn't that the guy who the ghost dropped him off? Can we like give that guy a break for a minute? Why are we making him wash dishes?
Why does Large Marge keep dropping off these broke assholes? I don't get it. Like,
I do love that cut though. Of like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't have my wallet, and just right to him doing dishes. It's so good.
And his suit is soaking wet. You know what I mean? Like, it's just horrible.
Is it really?
Yes. I was watching it. I'm just like, I mean, they probably had 100 suits.
I know.
So shout out to Billy Weber, the editor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy, good stuff, buddy. Nice cuts.
Nice cuts.
Nice cuts, Billy Dubs.
I do want to ask you guys about Simone. How do you feel about her character in this movie and like this whole storyline of the movie?
In what capacity? And
Just like, do you like Simone? So far, I love
Yeah, I
every
like
character.
Simone. Yeah.
I love every character until Simone, and then I kind of, as an adult, just go, like it doesn't. It slows down a lot for me right here at
there's
this
some
part
real
of the movie.
sweetness in it that
Yes.
maybe is a little off the beaten path that you're on, but I do like it. And also, those dinosaurs, like, I know exactly where they are in California. And every
Yeah?
time I drive by them, I'm like, the Pee-wee dinosaur.
Never stop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Luke, my buddy who's here with me now, we've stopped a couple times. We're
Nice.
like, oh, this is where Andy tried to get Pee-wee.
I want to watch the sunrise.
Yeah, when we watch the sunrise, he's like, call me Simone.
Call me Simone,
Love
please.
you. You're gonna learn French. No, it is a bit of a downbeat. I mean, it definitely is, but it shows you this kind of like sweeter side, and she's very sweet to him. She gives him money. Yeah. So there is some sweetness to it. And then it is cut again by Brutus. I mean, you are immediately like thrown back into the Tim Burton world where you're like, oh, big fucking crazy.
Oh, he's grabbing a bone. Okay,
He's got a bone. I mean, it truly is so like, just so like Cro-Magnon, you know, where you're like, oh, wow.
Hey, you boned my girlfriend, I'm going to bone you.
Hey, there you go.
Low-hanging fruit, but
Do
hey.
you think Simone, because Pee-wee obviously cannot pick up on signals from women. Is Simone interested in Pee-wee?
I mean, they spent a night together.
I feel
She seems pretty like, I love you. Take me to Paris.
maybe.
We'll go to Paris together.
Yeah.
What is nice about him is he's not a threat. There's no woman who'd be like, I can't be alone with Pee-wee.
That's why Andy is so weird, man.
Yeah, like Andy's a weird choice for him, but it's like Pee-wee is the most non-threatening male ever. You know what I mean?
And which even
You're just like, all right, chill out.
it adds to the fact of if somebody told what's the big guy's name, right? Andy.
Yeah.
And it's like, so Andy's coming around and they're like, where's Simone at? And it's like, oh no, don't tell her. She went up there with a man. And it's like, oh, Simone. And Simone walks out, probably smoking a cigarette or something, just like looking a little exhausted, and her hair's tousled. And then it's like, sons of bitches. And then Pee-wee walks out. He's like, oh, nothing happened.
Someone said there was a man up there.
Yeah.
You seen him?
Yeah.
You seen him? There's supposed to be a man up there, too.
This boy has a
him on
bow
the
tie
stairs,
on.
though.
We got the little ventriloquist dummy, my girl, and apparently there's a man up there.
Yeah. Where's the guy who was playing the ventriloquist dummy? Like,
Where's the comedian?
Oh my God.
there is the guy. I'll get him once I see him fast on the stairs, just like, okay.
There's no one else up there. Now let me do some quick math. A man is up there with Simone. Simone comes out with the little boy who maybe had grown up in some eyes. And I'm trying to figure out, where's this man? Did he jump through the dinosaur eye? This man at.
I do. That they kind of inject a little bit of like the a little bit of heart into the scene with Simone, like you're saying. Maybe it does slow down a little bit, but I do like the kind of message of it. It couched in a joke too. Like everyone I know has a big butt. You know, let's talk about your big butt. Like I do like, because that's, you know, she wants to go to France and see Paris and everything, and like he's just saying, go follow your dream. What are you doing talking to me about it? Like you got to go.
Yeah,
I really like that. It's really cool.
It actually is a very sweet moment between the two of them.
Yeah.
I think like it shows this other side of like Pee Wee. Maybe it helps him get to the point he can actually like talk to Dottie.
I wonder too, because even on the show, like his kids show, it was definitely meant for like all ages, because you know there was definitely a lot of messaging to kids, but there were definitely a lot of jokes for adults. But I think back to like Mr. Rogers, there was a lot of like so much messaging as far like I wonder how intentional it was to sort of give a message of like pursue your wants, go fulfill your dreams. Like who knows if I even picked up on it or not as a kid, but it is like so. It is sweet. I mean, it is a very sweet little message.
Yeah. In a movie full of like stupid one after another stupid jokes.
And
you know,
they do the wide and you see him jacking off. You're like,
it's just kind of
why?
If that's your dream, I guess go for it.
Time he goes,
I just picture the back of Pee Wee Herman's head near the front of a theater. What's he doing? He's like,
that guy's masturbating.
Jesus
that man is masturbating.
let's actually talk about that, because
You
like
sit in the back at least, or
his career pretty much got ruined by that. But it was a literal like theater for jerking off. Like it was an adult. It was adult pornographic film.
Well, and I think that did get conflated to some extent with people thinking it was like
they thought it was like
pedophile,
child porn or
Child
something,
stuff.
because they're like, oh, child actor,
which is also an amazing thing to be like, what theater are they showing? What are you talking about? You know, the child porno theater. They should shut that place down.
it's been a stain on our main street for
You can't cut a tag off a mattress, but you can go to a nude kid thing. Come on.
Right next to the snuff film. Keep
one
that
on
one,
First-
but
the one on First Street, no, the one on Second Street, the other one.
yeah, that one's gone downhill. Like what?
But I think he did have a career after that. I mean, his career he got pigeonholed almost by his own design. I mean, even in the credits, he's Pee Wee Herman. He was known as Pee Wee Herman forever.
And he would go out in public as Pee Wee Herman.
People would try to. It was almost like Sacha Baron Cohen, but he never peeled the layer back. So he lived as Pee Wee Herman. He would do Letterman as Pee Wee Herman. He would do Howard Stern as Pee Wee Herman. He was Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
So you kind of are destined to a bit of a pigeonholing just by doing that. But he was able to have a career outside of it. You definitely, when you saw him, though, you were like, that's Pee Wee. That's Pee Wee. I do think there was, like, the outrage over what he did, but it's also, like, I mean, it's fucking weird. I mean, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have my cat in the room when I jack off. Like, the idea of just being like, how are we all doing? Let's go. You know?
my scene.
Yeah, let's party. You know, it's very strange to think of doing that anyway. But I think by the same token, when it comes to like crimes in the entertainment business, I mean, this is an own goal for sure. It's not
so right.
Yeah, I mean, he's not Weinsteining into a plant with some actress who's like, you know, doing her own Pee Wee laugh. So
And hey, everyone mind.
yeah, but in trouble. But he was in what was that movie
Blow, you talking about Blow? Or are you talking
Blow? He's great in Blow.
That was the first time I ever went, okay, he's not Pee Wee Herman.
He was also in that movie, the Ben Stiller movie with Janine Garofalo.
Oh, yeah, Mystery Men.
Mystery Men, he's in that.
Okay, so
he did bounce
disappeared
around a little bit.
and then came
but-
back as Paul Rubens.
Yes,
Yeah.
but he's still, I mean, you're right in the sense that it's like, the fuck else could
he doesn't
you
have a
cut?
kid anymore.
I don't know if it was the studio's idea or his idea to live his life as Pee Wee, but
I don't know.
Very strange.
That's tough.
He did at one point because we did cover Flight of the Navigator.
Oh yeah.
And so
But that was 86 or something like that.
It was in 86. But you know, this is when he did that when Pee Wee was really blowing up, obviously,
Yes.
right? And so even in that, he was the voice. Have you seen Flight of the Navigator?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's the voice of the ship, obviously.
Yeah, right.
So it's like what happened is he decided to
We're in
cast
trouble.
We're in trouble. And he just
Compliance.
compliance. And he just comes through, but he said, he put basically a stage name. He went as Paul Wall.
That's right.
Or Paul Mall.
The rapper.
Paul Mall or Paul Wall. And he decided to put that as what he was credited as in the actual movie.
Yes,
So he
very
didn't
confusing.
overshadow anything as Pee Wee Herman or as Paul Rubens. It's
It's a bizarre choice.
yeah,
It really is.
yeah. It's he creates quite the disconnect, doesn't he? Yeah. Like
To some extent, though, I guess in a way it does. If you are, because like when you meet very famous people, they do have a difficulty having their own life. Like he creates a world where when he puts on an outfit, he's the most famous guy in America, and when it's off, he can go to the grocery store.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very
it's actually
true.
genius.
Buy Mr. T cereal on his own.
Yeah,
That's right.
nobody knows him. Yeah. Well, let's move on to scene 4. So Pee Wee's attacked by Simone's boyfriend, Andy. He escapes by hopping onto a train, which he quickly jumps off of due to the hobo sharing the car with them.
Pure comedy. That scene is pure. Like you really are like. I love that scene growing up, and then the more every time you watch it, like I just love that the guy sings him off.
Something annoys Pee Wee.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, this is
Give
the
me
breaking
crack
point.
corn and I don't care. Give me crack corn.
Just still expecting him to join, and he's just like, "Oh my god!"
It jumps off the train.
Threw himself off a train.
That guy is Carmen Philpe.
Yeah.
He was Old Man Withers in Wayne's World.
Yeah.
He was an old man at the bar in The Wedding Singer.
Yes.
And he was in Beetlejuice. He was the flattened messenger in hell that
Oh,
was
wow.
rolling through the afterworld going, beats something, and he drops papers on the... That was him.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So Tim would like to work with you again?
Oh,
Really?
I think we've had a good time.
Let me
made a
guess,
good
hobo? Actually, no.
No.
The flat devil guy.
And after that,
Rascal Flats.
he goes to the Alamo, takes the tour, finds out there's no basement. After avoiding Andy again by joining a rodeo, he wanders into a biker bar where trouble ensues.
It's now my goal to go to the Alamo and ask if they
I
have.
bet they're like, we will not ask that question.
Yeah.
I see a couple stoners in the back. I'm going to nip you in the bud.
Nip this in the
No.
butt right now.
Sorry.
It's like guitar stores. It's like no stairway to heaven.
Yeah, exactly.
No one asks
Yeah.
if there's a basement at the
Yeah.
Alamo. Yeah, talking about Jan Hooks, I thought that was incredible. But we have a segment here we like to call the most punchable face of the movie. My most punchable face is the kid who takes the picture of Pee Wee when he's all sad that he finds out there's not a basement.
Oh, yeah.
He's
okay.
like, what? And everybody's laughing, and the kid goes, ha ha ha. That's my most punchable face of this movie for sure.
Well, the end of that scene, too, where everyone's laughing, is, again, one of those... It's eerie. It's not, like, scary, but you do feel odd.
Yeah.
You're like, why? It's like makes you feel bad. It does such a good job of kind of twisting the knife of his embarrassment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're singling out
Heightened
our
at a level
guy.
where you're like, again, the Tim Burton stuff, where you just are like, they all make him feel so fucking bad.
Yeah.
And you are like, you're with him until
Yeah,
then,
you are.
and nobody fucking went in there and was like, basement of the Alamo. I see this coming back to bite him.
We're all like, yeah,
Oh
basement
shit,
of the
that's where the
Alamo.
bike might be. You know, and then it's like they make it so painful.
It's like Hitchcock style
Yeah,
of
totally.
of terror of this is my social nightmare.
Yes.
I
Oh,
said
sure.
the stupid
Everyone laughs at you
Yeah.
when your dream is crushed. They
Yeah.
do it. There's multiple all is lost moments in the movie, but that is a great one.
Yeah.
where you are like, ooh,
Oh, that hurts, buddy.
hurts.
thing. I think if I was gonna punch somebody, I think it's Francis at a very specific time when he's chewing the trick gum.
When he's going,
Or his dad. No. You're like,
Or the lingering shots on those two.
ah, so good. As his blue is coming into his mouth.
It's like the a bad part of a Beastie Boys music video. It's just like,
It's so arch.
so good.
No, come on, Pee-wee, the Buxton.
Francis.
fruit, please.
I'm going with the photo kid for
The
sure.
photo kid, okay.
Yeah.
You can join on the train or you can pick somebody else. Who do you like?
Let me keep thinking.
Okay, all right, you can come back to it.
Yeah, I'll come back.
I like the whole this like the small little bits too, especially like in this scene where he's in Texas, like, oh, I'm in Texas. Here, I'll prove it. The stars at night are big and bright. Here in this, that is so fucking like everyone just joins in
It's
with
such
him.
a quote. I mean, again, I think probably different because I saw it, but it was so quotable.
Yeah,
I meant to do that. The stars at night. I know you are, but what? Like all those lines lived forever.
Yeah.
I meant to do that was like
I meant to do that.
forever.
Yeah.
Every time you fucked up as a kid, you're like, meant to do that. Like, you're like, am I good to go? Or like, nah, it's not actually, you need stitches. You're like, oh, fuck.
I did that as a kid once. Like I was like outside of my friend's house. I can't ride bikes. Outside of my friend's house, and like I liked his mom a little bit. I thought she was like, oh yeah, she's cool.
Wow. How old?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
11, 12, something like
Okay,
that.
all
Something
right.
like that.
Pants were starting to tighten.
Yeah.
Decent.
I was looking for movie theaters to go to.
Sure.
But
Child jerking off to adults? That's also disgusting.
Boy, what a twist.
All right, look. We all agree there's some discrepancy.
Mom, I'm going through something.
mattress
Trying to
tags.
legalize child porn. Children doing it to grown-ups is also ridiculous. Hold on a minute.
I was doing stupid tricks on my bike, and the handlebars just like literally ripped off. And like my first instinct was to say I meant to do that. Like I don't know if it
Hadn't
was
even fallen yet?
Yeah, no, I like was falling, and then it happened.
I don't need reflexes. I need lines.
Yes,
So you know the guy who bought Segway, how he died?
Wasn't it on a Segway?
Yeah, he fell off a mountain like on a Segway, like a.
Oh
Segway.
yeah, okay.
It'd be so great if his last word. I meant to do that.
No, you didn't.
There had to be someone whose last words were "I meant to do that" at that time. Like, fuck, Troy's gone. That was an amazing last line.
There's like an extreme sports, like a wingsuit diver that in his will it says, "Put it on my tombstone." That says, "I meant to do that."
He meant to do that. He left doing what he loved, meaning to do what he did.
He did best.
Amen.
He meant to do it.
Gareth, so you are on tour right now. You can find out tour dates, GarethReynolds.com. It's important to note that you will be in Texas by the
Yes.
time this episode comes out. So
Yes.
I'm hoping that at some point in your show,
I'll try
you
it.
sing the
Dude. I'll
song
try
and
it.
you see what happens.
I'll try it. Yes. Luke, remind me. I will try that. Absolutely.
I would love to know if that actually
when there's
works.
a lull.
When you're kind of
Which
like,
there are many during my shows.
tickets still available.
Yeah, many.
There was a weird moment that I noticed as an adult in this. He goes to the rodeo. He falls off. He's in full-blown rodeo outfit.
Yeah.
He wakes up and he's in his
course.
tuxedo again.
Yeah.
Which means the cowboys undressed him unconsciously and then put his
Well, they
regular
do
clothes
that.
back
I don't
on.
know if you've
Is
ever
that
been to
part of the rodeo?
Oh, yeah, they strip you.
Yeah.
If you fall off, I mean,
I've
even
never
if
been.
you last long, they get you nude.
Yeah.
I had
good
a nickel
job,
for every
boy.
time rodeo clowns had stripped me naked and changed my outfit.
Oh my
It's kind of a
All
celebratory
right, let's
thing.
put him back in his civvies.
Before he wakes up, quick.
Fuck.
Well, you
Can knock
lasted
me
pretty
out
long.
first?
I love when he wakes up too, and he's like, "I remember the Alamo."
That's so funny.
That is a
the
fucking
movie
great bit.
is loaded with like, because that's one of the things I think returning to it, where I was like, is it funny?
Yeah.
And it is funny.
Yeah.
It's definitely a strange, surreal movie in many ways. But when he's fucking jumps off the train, when he won't shut up with his train hobo songs, all that stuff, there's so many funny moments in the movie. Legit funny moments.
The fast, we didn't really talk about it, but like kind of early in the movie when they do the fast cut of him like enjoying riding his bike, and there's just all of a sudden, boom, bam.
Yeah.
I
Right
meant
in
to
front
do
of the
that.
kids.
Yeah. I meant to do that.
It's one of the best cuts of the
Yeah.
movie.
Like I that was the moment that broke me first in this
Yeah.
in watching this, because I just saw that happen. I was like, fuck yeah. It's like-
Also, just very quickly, the BMX gang.
Yeah.
You're like, what's going on here?
I didn't have a BMX gang in my
Yeah,
neighborhood.
it was like, you were like, do we need them in the movie? Like, they're like, later, Pee-wee.
They each have to say a later.
Yeah.
See ya,
It
bro.
was like such,
Later,
it's such
Pee-wee.
a strange little world building thing they did. You
Yeah.
know? You're like, what? They're not good actors. There's like 30 of them. Do we
just
need
kids
them?
on-
Yeah.
we just found kids who were in BMX gear.
They were
We
like,
just put
they
them
wouldn't
in.
leave the shop. He's like, we'll shoot around him.
Yeah, let's shoot around.
Shoot around him? We'll shoot around
Let's
him.
shoot around him.
It's a $7 million movie.
Warner Brothers just had like a quota to fill. Like we need 600 kids in the movie. I'm
legally.
we have to have them there.
We got to do a mattress joke too.
You got
legally. We're really in a bind.
This movie's about bikes. I just dress them up.
D. Snyder needs to be legally. D has some incriminating stuff on Warner Brothers.
He's not going to take it, so we got to do something.
We offered him a deal, and he simply said, "I would take it, but I can't." And we said, "That's not punchy enough, D."
I am the whole time. I'm just waiting for like Crew Jones and like the old guy from Rad just to like roll up, and then like for the old guy in Rad and Pee Wee Herman to have this moment of the like, fuck it. You know what I mean? That's all I was waiting on, especially
BMX
with all the
was hot
BMX
back
guys.
then.
Yeah,
So hot in the 80s.
yeah.
But we get to this biker bar scene,
Hell yeah.
which so we talked about this in Wayne's World. It's very well known that scene in Wayne's World where they're listening to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yep.
What we don't understand about when that movie came out is that Queen wasn't really that popular.
No.
Bohemian Rhapsody was really not a song that a lot of people knew.
No.
And they fought for this to be in the movie so that it could do what it did. And I think that movie personally revitalized Queen and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh yeah.
I think this might be the same thing for Tequila.
For the champs,
It certainly makes you synonymous with a visual.
Correct. Everyone knows in the shouting of tequila. That the bikers do. Like I don't feel like that was probably a thing before this movie.
Oh, okay.
It's also not a really like. It doesn't make much sense. No. But it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it really doesn't. It's just like it's a cool song. It's a dumb. I mean, in a script, it's just like he gets like
his
big
final
platform
wish
shoes.
is to dance to
yeah,
tequila?
like that. You're probably like, what? Do we need that? You know, but it is in execution. It is just so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just. And again, I mean, the movie is like having grown up when it came out. It is just full of iconic things, and that was another one. Those shoes that like, he's just awesome for a minute. I remember when I was at school dances, getting up on my tiptoes, being like, "What's up?" You know what I mean? Certainly wasn't getting laid from it, but in my head, I was like, "I'm the man."
Someday,
there's like a 10-foot space around you in every direction. I was like, "What's up, ladies?"
That's not why they played this song. It's like,
all right, call back.
You find out you weren't wearing the right shoes and hurt your toe and shit.
I did, yeah. But yeah, it's such an awesome scene. That all of it. And again, comedy-wise, when he knocks him over and he makes the noise where he's like, like he knows he's gonna get murdered. Like that whole sequence is so good.
I think we should let him
Yeah, I say we stab him and hang him, tattoo him, then we kill him.
no. We used to make go ahead.
Well, the biker mama is Cassandra Peterson, who's Elvira.
I forgot about that.
Oh wow!
And she was like, and when he came into the magic shop, there was a poster of her on the wall.
Was there really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just
that's
like,
funny.
oh my god, it's
By
amazing.
the way, I remember as a little kid being like, I mean, I wouldn't mind if she did that stuff to me. You know what I mean? Like my little hormones are like, if she has cleavage and tattoos, which I like. You know?
And on that day,
Like
one hormone turned into two.
Yeah, I was like 7 years old, just like, I like where her head is at. It would be fun for her to have her way with him or a boy like me to see what she would do.
You're
really
bubbling
nice
that
of her.
under your breath.
Yeah, like
Mom's
little,
what'd you say? Nothing.
little bits inside me, like, what's happening here? Strange new environment for these feelings.
I have to say this just so that we can make a TikTok out of this, but we made so much fun of Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse in 1989 doing his upwards head nod on 1 and 3. Yes. Pee-wee does it here.
Yeah.
So great.
Patrick Swayze took this from Pee Wee Herman to implement in Roadhouse as a tribute to Pee Wee
So
Herman.
good.
Because it's an aesthetic for Pee Wee. That's his dance.
Yeah.
He was just like Patrick Swayze was just out of time.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is like this dance is iconic because to me I recognized the dance right away and didn't even know it was coming.
Yeah, right.
You know, as watching this and not watching a ton of Pee Wee as a kid, I saw that dance and I'm just like, oh my God, that's where it's from. I did that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's just like lots of those little things, like you say, they are just so synonymous and so many one-liners and quotable things that come from this movie that, God, I had no idea how much of an influence it actually had and I didn't even watch or care. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
As a
no,
kid.
it really, I mean, he was like an enormous star.
Yeah.
And he was not real. I mean, it's crazy. It's so 80s, too.
Oh, God,
Oh,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman, the real man. And we were like, the real man.
Yeah. Of course. On David Letterman.
As you were. Dr. Herman to some.
Well, let's go to the final scene. So he ends up in the hospital, but sees on TV that his bike is at Warner Brothers Studios. He breaks into the lot, steals the bike, and is taking on a wild chase by security. It ends with him being caught after helping save animals from a fire. TV executives offer to turn his story into a movie, and Pee-wee gets to meet all his new friends again at the drive-in theater where it's being debuted.
I have to say this right now because I can't let it pass by. Again, when those, all of a sudden, the cuts of things, it just goes from one thing to the other. And the cut of him going from doing the dance and then all of a sudden he's in biker gear over his tux and stuff, and they're all happy to send him on his way, and he goes right through that billboard. I lost it.
It's
guys.
so funny.
Because lingering shots like that,
Yes.
right? It could have cut at any time. They could have like stitched things together, but they just let him just go.
Bye,
It's a
Pee-wee.
long shot, and it just goes through, and there's silence.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very much like the Lebowski
I was just gonna
car,
say, yes.
That's
Thank
exactly
you.
what it is.
where you get to see it in its totality in one shot, no cuts, and it's just, you're like, ow. It's just terrible.
Hospital.
Hospital.
And then they cut to the hospital.
It's such a especially because, again, that's when you're like, this movie is actually a hard comedy because it's like a win. He's won. Things are good. He fucking just showed these dudes what's up.
Yeah.
He's got his Sons
And
of
then
Anarchy
he's
vest on
pretending
now.
he starts it on the first try. And they're like, he's a hero, and then he goes through a sign and falls.
I love how they follow the ambulance to the
They escort the ambulance.
Yeah.
I love the fact because you're right. It's like it gives you that kind of hard cut of just like getting him to the hospital. And you know what? Instead, what they could have done is they could have made it like a cool, fun thing that now Pee-wee's a biker and he's on the road, and then they're gonna play like Bad to the Bone behind him. or
Yeah,
something.
right.
And they could have just had it be that, and it's like, oh yeah, now Pee-wee's cool. Could have, would
I
have,
got
should
a
have.
real bike now.
Yeah, right.
I got a real one. But they don't. They still make him Pee-wee Herman and make him crash through a billboard.
So funny.
It's like, thank you for continuing on with the jokes.
It really is so goddamn funny. And then the Warner, like what you were saying about the cartoon aspect of it all, when he sets up, when they're chasing him, when the security's chasing him. I mean, that whole scene where he's the nun and he's just like, I'm gonna take it now, give it to the orphan. Like, it's so.
He's reading the script.
Yeah, that whole thing is so funny. It always is entertaining to see the backlots. Like, even as a kid, I mean, I remember like being so enamored with the production of the things, you know, and that is one of that like lit that fuse there because you're like, oh wow, it's like full of movie making and all this stuff. And so when he's getting chased by those guys and he does pull out and he does the Wile E. Coyote fake background and some of the guys fall for it, but it's such a great ending to a movie because you really are like, the stakes are amping up. It's happening a crazy environment. There's lots of jokes, but that chase is totally epic.
It really, I like what you're saying about the backlot too, because I love the movie trope in movies where if you see like a Warner Brothers backlot, every single movie is being made on the exact same day.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's like so much is going on, and you're just like, like I remember taking the Universal tour when I was a kid. You know, and see, like, and you were like, holy this is where they made that.
Yeah.
Like, you get it's like kind of overwhelming a little bit, the amount of stuff that's going on. And that's why they drive you through Godzilla. That's why you go through the beach rom-com, whatever. Like, you're just kind of like, holy
Here's
shit.
some painted elephants. No
Yeah,
big
which
deal.
I was like, it doesn't age great, to be quite honest with you. Like, they were probably like, we got to euthanize him now. We got him for the one shot.
The one thing.
Yeah.
that paint's gonna slowly kill him if we don't shoot him
well,
right
they're
now.
Porsche. They can't breathe. But it really is like such a great ending. Even having the kid, I forget his name, be a little shit to the
Awesome.
woman who is actually on the TV show. She plays.
So she's Lynn Marie Stewart.
Yeah, she was a groundling too.
Was she really?
Yeah,
so
was a
she was
groundling, too.
also in Running Man. She was Edith Wiggins in Running Man, and she was Bobby in American Graffiti, the girl in the front seat that was driving him and the girl but in the back seat. Like, yeah, she's been in a ton
She's
of
on the
stuff.
Pee Wee show.
Yes.
she was on. I can't remember her name, but Lady Lorraine or something like that.
Yeah.
So she her in that, but it's just nails it.
Twisted Sister music video
Twisted
going on.
Sister, they're
so
freaked
great.
out. He's interrupting everything. It's so great. And even the song they're singing, it's great that they're not singing, we're going to take her. No, leave. No. You're like, oh,
You're gonna burn in hell.
You're going to burn in
They're like,
hell.
what song is that?
It's a kid's movie, kind of.
I just like it when he's like, "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to like whatever the kid's name is?" And it's like the guy in the really tough suit. He's like, "I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know when you know where Bobby's at?"
It's over there on lot 4.
It's the lady.
So,
Yeah, I think it's over on lot 4.
but then as you get to know Tim Burton, you're like, that is
Yeah.
just
Makes perfect sense.
wherever you can make it just kind of eerie and weird, go
Yeah.
for it.
It put you in a different world.
Yes,
Yeah.
Because like
it's
if you would have
perplexing.
taken young Mike Schulte from St. Louis, Missouri, and put him there, I would have been like, "What the fuck is
Yeah, it's perplexing.
I don't like this."
You're like, why? And he's like, why not?
I don't care.
You're
Why
like, okay.
not?
FYI, I don't know. I think we kind of passed it up, but his nightmare that he has with more clowns in it
Oh yeah.
That's
is
pretty
the
terrifying.
most terrible. If you showed me nothing but that clip, I'd be like, "What horror movie is this from?
Yeah.
What sequel to Killer Clowns of Outer Space is this? Is this the
song.
movie It? Like, I don't know what's
The
going on.
song too in there.
The
it's
circus type kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just like like you're like, oh.
When the surgeon is just like,
Yeah, that's creepy. That is creepy.
Yeah,
That whole
crazy.
dream reminds me of the Burbs dream that he has
Oh,
with
yeah.
the devil
Right.
and they're roasting
Yep.
him. Like that just like as a kid, both of those are just like
Speaking of the Burbs, the whole pet shop scene,
yeah.
where he's like digging out grabs those two dogs that are up front
Yeah.
of the window or whatever. That the one dog is Precious from Silence of the Lambs, and she's also in.
She's Queenie in the
She's
Burbs.
Queenie in the Burbs.
That
And
dog's
I think
like, look, it's a weird business. I have range and I've done everything. I was with Buffalo Bill when he was doing lotion in the basket. I was also dog 2 and Pee Wee. So you just have to stick with it. And there will be down times and there will be up times. You know, when you're hot, and then everyone's going to be calling you. And when you're not, just remember, sometimes you got to make your own phone ring.
smoking Virginia Slims.
Yeah.
Like, what?
But that
Holy
the pet shop part too is
it's
like
so great.
it is. It's such a great little non sequitur. It also is very save the cat because you're like, yeah, the fucking dude is literally saving the animal.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
love him, and then the snakes pay off.
Yes.
He doesn't want to touch the snakes. They keep showing
like
him
5
one
times.
and then he's out there and he just drops with handfuls of snakes. It's so funny.
Every look he has when he goes back in there is just as funny as the last. So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like-
Yeah. Yep.
you know, it's so
The
good.
fact that he takes time to acknowledge it every single time and like
Yeah.
he understands what he probably has to do. But honestly, like first time kind of watching it again or like really seeing this scene, I was like, this is going to be extremely funny, but extremely dark if he grabs everything except the snakes. And that would be pretty
The irony that in the future, he was grabbing everything,
Boy,
including the
grabbing
snake.
everything but the snakes.
Went for the
Well,
snake first.
Yeah. Like, Jesus,
Oh,
Paul.
one-eyed snakes. Oh,
Yeah.
that's more like it.
Oh, you didn't like the 2 eyes.
I didn't like the 2 eyes. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
It was a little off-putting, I guess. But no, like I like it that he drops with the snakes, and I don't know if you guys caught this, but and maybe I'm sure that some of them were fake snakes on the ground. But for some reason, I pick up on this little like crap
saw
where
it.
where. Like the firefighter runs up after he drops back, and that firefighter just like curb stomps a snake.
He
dude.
100% steps
Oh,
on the snake.
Like,
really?
I'm like,
Snake just goes,
Oh no!
it's like this is terrible.
Frank, great. You continue to step on a snake every. I hate snakes. Look, Frank,
His owner is pissed. Okay,
stop. We lost 8 snakes.
the snake wrangler's upset.
We can
all
no
right?
longer have the message at the end of the movie that says no animals were harmed. You
Yeah, I
asshole.
don't think
You
they had
kicked
it.
the chimp. You stepped on a dog. You curb stomped a. I hate animals.
What are you doing here?
I'm not an actor.
Can we get a guy? Can we
I'm
get
actually a fireman.
He's actually a fireman. You've never saved
It's
animals?
a real fire.
I go home and beat my
I
wife.
don't understand.
He doesn't get it. You know?
I do love the payoff at the end here of all the people being back there in the movie.
It's the best.
I did want to point out two people that are very important to movies that show up in the hobo gang. Because the old hobo.
Oh, yeah.
The one hobo's there, but he's got his friends.
Yes.
Did you recognize any of them? No. Patrick Crenshaw was one of the hobos who's Blue from Old School.
Oh.
You're my boy, Blue.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then Sunshine Parker was also one of them. He was Emmett in Roadhouse. And he was also Edgar in Tremors, the guy that's up on the pole that's dead on the pole in
Oh,
Tremors.
wow, yeah.
Both those guys are hobos in this movie. For
Jesus.
For no reason.
No reason. Literally no reason.
The ending of the movie, like my writing partner and I referenced that ending a lot because it's so gratifying to have met all these people, have had these independent moments with these people, and then they're all there, and you just do little payoff after payoff. French fries, hot dog with the nail file in it, the hub, throwing the stuff to the bikers. It really is like, not to mention the Francis moment, which
Yes.
is where Phil Hartman makes an appearance.
Yes, he's finally in the movie, yeah.
But it's such, it really shows you like, it's just kind of like they kind of just reseed it because the world building
Yeah.
is so great. But then at the end you have for 2 minutes, you're just like, my friend, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, they're all here. They're seeing the fucking movie they're making. And then the movie, which I'm sure you're going to get to,
So good.
is so, again, why it's a comedy. Him as the fucking belt. Like, first of all, the fact that James Brolin and
Yes, whatever her name is.
yeah,
What's her name?
they're the fact that they're the two, and that he's just like the bike is the X130 and all that stuff. I know you are, but what am I? Like, it's so fucking funny to begin with, but when Pee Wee is in the background doing all the stuff you shouldn't, where he's like looking into the camera
Directly.
he keeps moving. He's like trying to inch in and out of frame.
That's so
the
funny.
fact that his voice was too weird, so they had to dub it. Hey, Mr. Herman, you have a telephone call at the front desk.
Did I get any phone calls?
So too.
Yeah, it's just so funny.
Did I get any phone calls? No, not right now, Mr. Herman. Jesus Christ.
That's
was the
Morgan
president.
Fairchild.
Yeah,
Morgan Fairchild's the, yeah.
Fairchild, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's absolutely classic. I mean, I think it's a great ending, but I do want to ask you guys a question. Is Pee Wee a kid or is he an adult?
Oof. Well, he's gonna bang Dottie.
Yeah.
Are we sure?
No, but I think he is.
Well, maybe Dottie's gonna bang Pee Wee eventually.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
might be.
Maybe that's the way it would work.
More, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's more valid. Yeah.
I guess it's such a good question, and it really does speak to like I'm saying, my brother's 12 years older than me, and we used to watch the show Pee Wee's Playhouse together, and both enjoy it. And I was missing things that he was picking up on, and he was probably not sure what the emotional feeling I was having watching it, but it's probably really, I mean, like the success of the character and the movie and the show and all that other stuff really is because that's like a very difficult question to answer.
Sure.
I'm trying to think really hard. I mean, like, do you think he's a kid or an adult?
I think he's probably an adult. It's just
Okay.
he's just an adult who acts like a kid who is in this perpetual state, and that's where he feels most comfortable, I guess.
Do you agree with that?
I think so. I honestly, after been like watching it several times, the only other thing I could think of is like, oh, this is where SpongeBob SquarePants came from, because like
Oh,
he's,
wow, okay.
he's basically like this childish adult who does live on his own. I mean, SpongeBob actually has a job, but at the same time, it's like he just kind of does whatever he wants. But I do think of SpongeBob as an adult, so I think I have to think of Pee Wee as an adult.
There's some theories out there that he's literally just like a 10-year-old kid and that this is all made up and that he's pretending to be in adult situations and that he never left his neighborhood. I mean, there's a lot of things to that, though. Like, he clearly doesn't have a job, but he's got money for everything he
Speaks
needs.
a lot to how good the economy in the 80s was in America. It was like, sure, we were like, like it was shady how we were getting like rich. It always has been, but it was a simpler time when a man didn't have a job and he still had that like, that disposable magic income.
Disposable.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy some more ears today.
Yeah. By the way, Shrunken head, regular size, extra large. Great line.
So I already have one of those.
Yeah.
But like no adults find it weird that his house looks like this. Pee Wee himself is very childlike. His conversations with Francis are very children's arguments. Francis himself, worth saying, is just a 10-year-old rich kid that lives with his dad. Pee Wee has zero interest in Dottie. It's like he's kind of afraid of cooties of sorts. Like he's got that kid. The main plot element is a bike, something adults would never covet or envy enough to steal. The convict Pee Wee meets in jail is in jail for cutting tags off mattresses, which would seem like a very big deal to kids. The road signs are not real. They're indicative of something a kid might draw up or imagine. Large Marge could have just been like a crazy lady in the neighborhood who made like a weird face at him, and kids' imagination went wild. The biker bar was maybe just a rough gang of kids slightly older down the street. The dance was not going to be something that got bikers to like you or thought it was funny. Making tattooing as a threat. Like that's something a kid would say, oh, I don't want to get tattooed. That's real bad. Shit, I don't want to get that. I mean, like, and then somebody also theorized that maybe that this whole Hollywood thing is just like someone flipping through channels on a TV with wild imagination, because we're watching TV shows and imagining what it would be like to run through it. So I don't know. Like, I really don't know what I believe. Like, I always thought he was a kid, but now I'm like, is he an adult? That's weird if he's an adult.
Yeah.
I also really like when you're a kid, you always like, when I was in elementary school and I saw high schoolers, I was like, they're middle-aged.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then like, as you get a little bit older and like you see your friends, it's like you always only ever see your friends like as at the same age. Like it'll be 20 years later and it's like you still kind of see your friends as like the person who was in high school.
So true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a really very strange age and time in that way are so bizarre.
Yeah.
And it is true. It's like my friends are still idiots. But I'm like, you're 48. Like, that is crazy that you're like bringing up like we should shotgun a beer. You know, it kind of never ends, but it is that. It's sort of like your time is suspended in the fact that you age with your friends at the same time, but you still are like, well, we're children. We just now are able to do anything. Well, we're children, but you have children of your. Well, we're children, but you know, it really is weird.
It just feels like a strange thing. I feel like that's a good. It's kind of the way I do feel about this movie. Is maybe Pee Wee is just kind of growing up, or maybe it's through the lens of Pee Wee that he sees himself as older, and same with Francis, and we get to see all these people and how they look to him through the lens of Pee Wee's, you know, that kind of a thing. Maybe that's too deep, guys.
That's a good way to look at it.
Well, it's an interesting question anyway.
Yeah.
Because it is like even that theory is like it also says like, look, if you make something that is so fucking interesting to have people, it's like Groundhog Day when they theorize how long he's doing
we've talked about that.
I'm sure you have.
It's wild.
Like to be able to write something that has the resonance where people are going to theorize about it, because he, like you said, I mean, it's the first fucking thing he wrote.
Yeah.
First movie he wrote.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're like, well, was he a child or is he? Where
Was
is
he
on the
implying that he's just not ready to grow up yet, but he's an adult?
Maybe that was like Paul Rubin's thing. Like maybe that was his whole conceit of the character of Pee Wee Herman was like, yeah, this is a kid, but he's in an adult world, and how would a kid see it? I guess
It's like big.
You know,
Well,
kind of.
Totally. And I
world.
think when I was a kid and I think about movies that main characters that I loved, they had the access of an adult and the attitude of a child. And I would always be like, that's what I loved. I loved the guy. I mean, it's like the main guy in dumb comedies we grew up on, where you'd be like, he can drive a car, he can go get laid, he can drink beer, he can but he also has a slide in his house. He has these things. His money is spent towards stupid shit. Like, that was the sweet spot as a kid. It's funny, like, the way my life has turned out, because I'm like, there's definitely like a psychiatrist would be like, interesting, isn't it?
There's some dots to connect here.
Yeah. But it is like he is kind of that Venn diagram of that to like the nth degree.
Yeah.
I mean, he is pure child but he is
But he's doing these adult
a man.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's super
Yes.
interesting.
I mean, that's a great place. Anybody else got anything else before we give this a final round? That's a great place to end it.
I am good.
Well, Gareth, what we do now is we've stripped away the nostalgia. We've talked about this with a modern day eye. We got to give this a modern day rating. You just watched it again. You've thought about it critically. Scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the best. How would you rate this movie?
You know, talking about it made me like it more again.
Generally how
you
it
know,
works.
yeah, because watching it, I definitely liked it. I definitely was, like I was sort of saying, there was definitely times at the beginning where I was like, yeah, he's a weirdo. You know, that's kind of weird. But I would give it a 9. I mean,
Nice.
it really does. It's just an enjoyable watch. It just is. Even if you're like annoyed by the character, the movie
Yep.
is a ride that is so simple, but it's good. And I compared to it feels shorter than the Blues
Yeah.
Brothers. It feels more.
Yeah, you're
it's
totally
just
right.
kind of a really enjoyable one of those fantasy, the Odyssey essentially is what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, great points. AJ, what about you, man?
You know, I really did actually enjoy like watching the movie. There are points where I felt like, well, this seems. I feel like it's kind of dragging. I do equate this only to like something like Blazing Saddles, because again, it's like, but Pee-wee didn't necessarily break the fourth wall. He just went in to the movie studio, right? But Blazing Saddles did kind of a similar thing, and that's the point where Blazing Saddles starts to drag for me. Like when it gets into this idea of like, oh, now we're becoming bigger than the story. That's the only thing. That might be the only thing, but really, it's a very fun watch, and to be able to kind of see it now, just without too much previous perspective on it, I think I know what it certainly deserves to be, and I think it deserves to be something that people should watch and like revisit often enough. Have a good fun movie night with it, you know, with your friends. And so for that, I'm gonna give it. It still freaks me out though. But I will still give this. I'm going to give it a 7.1.
7.1 for AJ. Sean, what about you, man?
Yeah, I was so glad to revisit this thing. I don't know I don't know what I was going to expect going into it, because I literally hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and I've never wanted to have the desire to rewatch it again. I don't know why, but I'm so glad we did, because this is like a summer movie for me now.
Yeah.
I love. It's almost a road movie as well. Just his adventure through California and then eventually to Texas. I love that kind of weather vibe for it. I don't know why. It is a summer movie for me now. But first movie by a huge director. I think he knocked it out of the park. I think it's just kind of a lightning in a bottle kind of situation, especially with Warner Brothers just taking a chance on this. Like I said in the beginning, I don't know if we're recording. It's just like they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
They don't just give a first time people carte blanche to do whatever the hell they want.
Go, here's $7 million. Shoot on our lawn.
Yeah. Exactly. I got to give it praise for that. Yeah, I'm going to give this an 8. I really, really enjoyed it.
I'm glad you said the lightning in a bottle thing, because we talked about some movies like that before, and it like everything tends to key into that stuff, because whether it be like the budget, it's not like massive budget necessarily. It's the people that are on the set, like all those things, and even like if there are low quality moments, it's like it adds to the like the feeling of it, you know. So
It is amazing that it launched
Yeah.
3 exceptional careers.
Yeah, right?
yeah,
For me, this movie doesn't feel like 1985. It looks so good. It's written so well. I love the plot. I found a moment now that I'm older and obsessing over how old I am, and now that I have a young daughter that I'm trying to teach life to, I look at these characters so different now. Like this is a Pauly Shore thing for me. This is a Tom Green thing for me, where we didn't like appreciate these people and what they brought to the screen. And yeah, maybe they were one-dimensional in some things, but Paul Rubens, if we could all just be like Pee-wee in this movie,
Yeah.
the world would just be an incredible place. And I find myself looking back on stuff like that, just being like, God, if we could all just truly have no cares and just live life. I'm an 8.19 on this. I love the rewatch. So as a group, we are
8.19.
yeah, 8.19.
So not willing to commit to the 8.2.
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
You want me to tell you why?
Yes,
you planned this, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Well,
Give it to me.
let's see. So an 8.2 on my list is Fargo, Big Trouble in Little China, and Die Hard.
Okay.
I'm just
Die
like-
Hard, best movie ever written. Best script.
I'm just kind of
Yeah,
quite not there.
totally.
So, guys, as a group, all of our ratings together were an 8.07. That takes
I like
us
that.
to, let's see where we're at here. We are on number 37 on our all-time movie list of movies we've done, right below The Matrix, right above Field of Dreams.
Those things.
Wait,
Are you kidding me?
I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
which camera's up? Hey, Field the Dreams, you suck on dick.
yeah.
That was a really personal movie for me.
Hey, shut up.
Yeah, dunk
Shut
on
up.
You lost your dad, loser.
Yeah. Go have a catch, bitch. Yeah.
Go build a field for ghosts. Fucking loser. It's a movie about a bike.
This is cinema right here.
Gareth, thank you so much.
Hey, thank
tell
you,
tell
guys.
everybody where they can find you, where your tour dates are, all that
You
fun
can
stuff,
find me
man.
at Reynolds Gareth on social media, and yeah, you can find my tour dates at GarethReynolds.com, and I'm fucking all over the place for the next 2 months.
A million podcasts. You got the dollop. You got
Yeah,
We're
listen
Here
to
to
the
Help.
Dollop. I have another one with the guy I do the dollop with called The Pastimes, and then my new one's called
that's
We're
right.
Here to Help with Jake Johnson, which is a
I
pleasure to
can't
do.
even keep track of all
Hell
of
yeah.
them.
I can't either. Yeah, no, that's what you're saying. I can't even keep track of what you're saying. That's how busy I am, boy.
Well, thanks, man. Appreciate
Hey,
you, buddy.
thank you guys.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
Yeah, yeah.